Welcome to CloudNationTV. How's it going, everyone? This is Sebastian, aka DrSpaceman, with Vet Gaming and Ray3473, the gaming cyborg. How's everyone doing?
Fantastic. I'm not sure how I'm functioning. I did 2 streams, 11 hours. I think I actually surpassed that. I've been addicted to a certain game. I don't know what game it could possibly be.
All rats.
Oh my god, dude, the rats in that are no joke. If anybody has played that or has not played that, and you want to see what we're talking about, just watch my stream from last night, and you'll see what we're talking about with the rats. Like JD watched it, and there were a few others that were just literally laughing because I was raging because I could not figure it out, and it took me almost 40 minutes till I could actually get past this one part because it's like just fucking rats everywhere, and it's like waves, 40-foot tall waves of nothing but rats.
Oh, it's crazy. It's a lot of action on the screen. It's
oh my god,
very impressive.
I think I even mentioned, could you imagine if that was in VR? I'd probably die of I'd probably have a heart attack live on stream.
Oh, it's a PTSD case, totally.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I don't think I played anything else. I sidetracked literally everything because I've been hooked on this game. I'm at chapter 12 or 13 now. No, I think I might be at 11. I don't know how many chapters there are in the game. Maker had told me there was 22, and then he's like, "No, I'm just kidding. I think there's 12." I really don't know, but I may be able to beat the game by next week, which is crazy considering I literally started it Thursday.
Oh wow.
Wednesday or Thursday I started it. I'm not really sure when, but I guess it helps when you knock out like 11 hours worth of gameplay.
Jeez.
It's a short story, but there's a lot of content to it from my understanding.
Yeah.
It's really impressive. The sceneries, everything about it. It's just a beautiful
gorgeous
game.
Yeah, I'll be streaming it Sunday. Shout out to Dom and GeForce Now for the hookup. I appreciate that.
Yes. And for those that want to know if you want a game that really takes hold and showcases the power of that GFN 3080 tier, this is it. This is the one game I would recommend if you want to see something. And I know, there was God of War. There's, Need for Speed really does a fantastic job of showing the quality. Cyberpunk's another one, but this for a new game that just came out on all platforms, this really shows it. How good that tier is and how powerful you have that stuff in the cloud.
So we're gonna go around just as usual with the events, other than Plague Tale Requiem, which is excellent. What have you guys been playing? So we'll start with Vet. Going around the clock.
Besides this, the only other thing was I started not a new Assassin's Creed, but I started Assassin's Creed Rogue. I was going to do a start to finish from the story campaign without all the side stuff, and then I actually found out the chat and I were trying to figure out the timeline, not like when the games came out from Ubisoft, but like the in-game timeline, and we figured out that someone looked it up and found out that Black Flag came first. Then it was Assassin's Creed Rogue. So Assassin's Creed Rogue is 1750s. It's before the Revolutionary War. So it deals with the French and Indian War. So like where it had me when I stopped playing it was I was in, and I don't know, Halifax, or I'm assuming is how I pronounce it.
Halifax.
I don't know. Yes.
Canada?
So I'm in Canada. Yeah, I'm in Canada. So you're in Canada, and then you actually get to go to the U.S., well, or, the colonies, I should say, because it's not that. When you beat that game, it actually carries over to Assassin's Creed 3. It leads right up to it. So my goal is, when I'm done with Requiem, I'm going to go back to that. We're going to go finish that game and then jump right over to Assassin's Creed 3.
I've never played Rogue. How's the play style? Is it similar to Assassin's Creed 3 or?
Yes, yeah. Play style is very similar, and Black Flag. You get to sail on the ocean. You get a ship, all of that stuff that you get to do as you would in Black Flag. I don't know if I don't remember if 3 had ships that you could sail. I know Assassin's Creed
but
4
it was
did.
much more limited.
Yeah, so this one you actually get to sail this. It not as well as if you're coming off of like Valhalla or Odyssey and then you go back, the control style is very different because remember these are very older games. But if you can once you get used to it, it's very similar to like Black Flag with the style, the ships, and all the other stuff that you get to do.
Interesting. That's awesome. I'm gonna have to brush up my Assassin's Creed eventually. Re-explore the
That one
franchise.
would be good for you. I would actually be interested in. I wanted to do like that one because I had never played it, and I figured going into Creed 3, I wanted that one because I like history, and that's on the American Revolution, and I figured that would be cool because I know most of that. I know all of that. I studied that stuff in school. You know, that's U.S. history stuff. So it'd be good to be able to explain the U.S. history stuff and the different areas and all of that stuff to the community, since I would actually know that. Whereas with this one, I don't know a whole lot about the French and Indian War and all that. So I would be really cool to see someone, like you or Meg stream that one to kind of get your guys' perspective on it with the historical stuff.
Interesting. What about you, Ray?
Been playing a lot of stuff. On Luna, I did the Arcade Paradise, which was pretty fun. And then let's see, on my PS5, I've been playing a lot of Madden. Let's see, and then on GeForce Now, I had so much fun playing the Warhammer beta. Oh my god! I watched you guys play. That was Havoc. That was pretty Havoc.
Was it ever?
And then later that night, it was me and SPG and Maker Chaos joined us, and we played. And that game was really, really fun. And then there's a website that I found called WeMod, and basically it's cheats. You can God mode, unlimited ammo, all kinds of stuff. Before you go into the game, you just load everything. So when you're in the game, like if it's a PC, you just hit 1, God mode, 2, unlimited ammo and stuff. And so there was a game that I got called The Walking Dead Overkill. And so now instead of the zombies eating my brains, they just stop in my face and they go, and it's the weirdest thing. And it's like a close up, and it's like but they can't. It's almost like Brad Pitt in World War Z when he took that shot and the zombies were scared of him because he loaded himself with a disease. So I've been playing, and it's just the weirdest thing. And then the guy's like, "How are you not dying, you motherfucker? You're using a cheat, huh? You're using a cheat. Give me the code, motherfucker. I need the code." And I'm like, just shut. And so I'm playing with these people, and they're looking at me because I can't die, and they're cussing me out like, cheater. And I'm like, whatever, dude. Just stand behind me. I got you guys. And the zombies follow me, and then I just kill them all. So that was cool. And one last thing. What else have I been doing? And then, of course, I'm looking I've been Meg, thank you for playing the classic, the first play game, and I saw her play a little bit of the second game, and then I've been watching Vet play, and then scoring, and then I've been playing scoring. Okay, that's it. Hey, Meg.
Awesome, lots of games.
Yes.
Good to see you, Meg. And of course, right now we're live on both Facebook Gaming and YouTube Gaming. As for myself, I played the beta for Warhammer 40k at Darktide. A lot of fun. I was interested in the game, but it wasn't that much on my radar. I tried the beta, and I really enjoyed it way more than I expected. It's really a fun game. A lot of stuff to it that's really interesting. You could play the menus, like there's those cosmetics you can unlock with the character eventually once the full game is out, that I'm sure is going to be really amazing to collect more aesthetics, and they don't affect your performance. So your armor, you collect pieces, and you from my understanding, you can do whatever you want for the appearance. It won't affect your stats because your stats are related to your weapons. So you have a main melee weapon and a ranged weapon that you use. And, depending on your classes, the different type. But I really enjoy the formula of the game, the atmosphere, the graphics. It just looks amazing. And yeah, slashing all the zombies using your skills. I was playing like the psychokinetics, so I was popping some heads, literally exploding the heads
Nice.
of the zombies.
I apparently played it incorrectly because I didn't realize that I was a sniper and I was just using a shovel to kill people.
Yeah, as
So
long as you enjoyed it.
Shovel was good though. Shovel was good.
I had no idea that they're like. I just saw a veteran, so I just assumed that would fit me because that's what I am. So I didn't realize that there was actually more involved with what you were actually supposed to read the stuff. But yeah, that game was a lot. I had way too much fun with that.
I was
once
a
I
veteran
figured things
too,
out.
from a farm that got forced into the army.
Cool. Yeah, I think I chose the Outcast as a story, and like you get to create a backstory, which I believe will have an impact on the dialogues you'll have in a game. It really looks like they did it something that can get really deep, a really well thought out game. For something that, as far as I know, is a indie studio, they did something on a large scale. It's really a nice game. Other than that, I've looked at the latest update of No Man's Sky. I haven't had the time yet to really dive into it, but I did play a bit with it. A lot of work. And the game changed quite a bit in the last update. Lots of improvements. I'm gonna have to get adjusted to the way stuff is set up now because it's a lot of major changes. But it looks amazing. When you fly in space now, you see the meteors so much further, and there's different shapes that are more varied. A lot of things just they really did some good improvements on the game, and of course Fortnite on the Monday night every week. Been streaming that, and yeah, there was a special Halloween event. A lot of fun. I think that that and Plague Tale Requiem, so that covers it. A lot of fun, a lot of games. Oh, and there's another game I tried today on mobile, which is Persona 5 on xCloud. Looks really great
I
in the
played
browser.
that at the dent. I was at my son had to go to the dentist, and I actually played that in the dental office on my phone on my game store. I brought that, and then all the dental assistants were looking at me like, "What are you doing?" And I'm just like, "Woo, woo!" You know, that was pretty cool. What up, Maker?
What's up, Maker? Good to see you, man.
Sliding on in here, aren't you? Huh?
How you doing? What's up?
I'm doing all right.
You got a big old smile. What you been up to, man? You been doing a little. You got a big old smile on your face.
What are you implying?
Happy guy, not allowed to be happy.
Yeah, what are you playing?
What are you implying?
It's just like I don't know. I never see
You're
you
gonna
never see him smiling like that, man.
Maybe he got some. I got nothing. I was gonna say something.
I knew.
You went for something. So, okay, it's probably still too inappropriate for this time. I'm gonna keep it for
You
later.
wanna hold off.
I had to stop.
I mean, dude, he's coming in. He's all, "What's up, guys?"
Just for the first time viewers out there, this show tends to be PG-13 at the beginning and tends to increase the number as it goes.
Yeah,
It's
we
getting
already
later and
Ray's
later.
wanting to go straight into R right there.
What? Put a ring
R is that
on it.
late
You
night
gotta Put a
content.
ring on it. I was doing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what you're
That's
talking
it.
about.
Put a ring on it.
What type of ring?
It's a wedding ring.
Oh,
Elden.
Elden Ring. And it's
Oh,
got a
that-
good Elden Ring on
I
it.
know
the one
what
I
you
was
were
thinking.
implying.
Yeah.
Sonic Ring.
Oh shit!
Like it spins.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
That
Some
doesn't
like
sound
it.
fun.
Some like
Wow.
them spinning ones.
So how you doing, Maker?
I'm doing all right. Just been gaming and working, basically.
Nice. What you been gaming mostly? World of
Um,
Warcraft?
Yeah. I got my mage up to 80, so I've been gearing them up, trying to get them ready for raids. While my Death Knight has already gotten he's pretty geared now. I think there's like one rare piece that I need to replace with Epic. But other than that, you know, I've done all the like current content: Nex Ramus, Eye of Eternity, and Obsidian Sanctum. I think the only thing I haven't done is 3 Drake, which is it's basically hard mode for one of the raids. So yeah.
How long do you think? Do you think WoW will ever go to xCloud?
Will WoW go to xCloud?
If the agreement goes through.
If the agreement goes through, I think there's an inevitability of WoW coming to console. I know some people who are in the Dragonflight, the new expansions beta, and they found files, like someone data mined it, found different button layouts, like with like one with PlayStation buttons, another one with Xbox buttons, and the other one with Switch buttons in the World of Warcraft files.
So with all of those plus the Switch.
Yeah.
Interesting. Are we showing our controllers again? I got nothing.
But I found
purple one.
I found that interesting, and then within the past week, World of Warcraft actually recently released a video that was talking about it's a new feature that they're adding to the game in the new expansion, where if you're looking at a certain direction, it will automatically aim at that target. And so, like they showed off like turning the camera from like one enemy to another, and then you could see the targeting swap from one to the other, and that would be really helpful for someone on a controller where they might not be able to select them a lot easier.
Indeed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's stuff like that, as well as they updated tab targeting so that it would grab the only units in your vision. So if there's like someone off to the side that you don't want to grab, if you hit tab while you have this enabled, it will only swap between the characters that are in front of you and not someone that's out of your vision.
A lot of very interesting features. So yeah, adding WoW to console, I think, will open up the game quite a bit to a lot more people. So that's definitely a win. Plus,
It makes
even the those who play it on PC, like if you can play it on mobile or on the Switch, that's really awesome.
Yeah, and other than WoW, I've played a lot of WoW, but I did pick up Modern Warfare 2, so I played a couple hours of that, which it's visually impressive, and it's pretty good so far. I'm enjoying the campaign.
Wow. Okay, that's good to hear.
But I've only played a few hours. Me and a buddy are playing through the campaign. He's like, "Don't go past this mission. I don't want you to tell me what's going on." And I'm like, "All right, I got you. I'll take my time with it," because there's only 17 missions, I think, in it, like 15, 16, something like that.
Yeah, generally the campaigns aren't too long. It's
Yeah.
you don't play Call of Duty really for the campaign. You play it for the multiplayer usually. Although the
Yeah.
campaigns are pretty good, but depending on which one.
Some of the missions are like really short. Some of them are like 10 minutes long, and so
Mhm.
I'm like on mission like 6 or 7 right now.
I thought about getting it, but I'm not willing to spend that kind of money
Yeah.
just for a campaign mode and then be done with it and then never touch it again.
I'll
'Cause I
probably play
refuse to
some
play-
multiplayer.
I refuse to play multiplayer. I'm terrible at any Call of Duty multiplayer. All I do is die, which then leads to raging, which then leads to quitting. And I've already dealt with I don't need to see live action. I've already seen live action stuff. I don't need to see it in a video game. It may not.
That's how I started streaming, was Call of Duty. That's when and then all of a sudden the cheaters, the hackers ruined it. And I mean, they spawn, boom, you're dead. So that kind of killed it for me.
Like Shatterline.
Yeah.
I don't.
man.
I don't. I play expedition mode. The other mode, f that. That
No.
PvP, f
Yeah,
that.
this is the expression I give them when I played that and I kept dying.
Yeah,
repeatedly
I like
because of the fucking
expedition mode.
cheaters.
I will agree on you. Yeah, Shadowline. Oh hell no.
So, Maker, have you played the multiplayer a bit on Modern Warfare 2, or?
Not really. I haven't touched it yet. I've in my like downtime, I've mostly been doing like my Fortnite dailies. You know, trying to
I
get
don't
it.
do that anymore. So sad.
Trying to finish up the battle pass. Once I finish, I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm done with the dailies. I don't need to do these anymore. But it's like 10 minutes out of my time. I go in, get the dailies, and then get out. I played a little bit of Plague Tale Requiem, a beautiful game. I definitely want to play more of that whenever I get the chance. And I did take a quick look at Persona 5 on xCloud, and it ran pretty well. And other than that, I think that there's other than Dark Tide, which you mentioned, that's about it for me.
Persona 5, I tried it on mobile. I did take a few screenshots. I can show. So it's with the touch controls, and I just went quickly. I'll share my screen. But it looks really good. So I play with the browser, even on mobile, because the app still gives me issues on mobile. Certain games works, some others it's problematic.
The app
but
sucks.
I think they're gonna eventually either ditch the app or just make it a PWA integrated in the app and ditch the app side of the stream, because they're really fixing well the browser side of it. So played that a little bit. Like, this is a really fast moving screen with a lot of colors on my cell phone. So through Wi-Fi, looks pretty good. Yeah, there's some action. So the game is looking fantastic. So that's on my phone and looks great. True xCloud. So a lot of improvements. They really well polished that game out. So good work. Good work on this. And I'm really happy. Persona is one of my favorites game series out there. 3 and 4 have been some of my favorite games. 5, I've played some on the PlayStation. I haven't had time to get too far into this one, so I'll do it again, but on xCloud. Really love that game. And we got
nice
Playboy Run.
Daughter loves Persona 5.
I said it'd be nice if they could fix the Xbox app on on PC, because I streamed on Twitch. I did a stream for the Xbox Ambassadors program thing, but I did a first look at Slime Rancher 2. One that's a weird ass game. I didn't understand it, and thank God I had Audi in the chat to help me, because I had no idea what the hell I was doing. It's very weird vacuuming up little gooey balls of whatever the hell it is. I mean, I don't normally do that stuff, but I could see the difference in playing it in the Xbox app versus the browser.
Holy
and
crap!
It's night and day.
It's much
difference using
better in the browser now.
Oh yeah.
Like, the browser, you still feel like you're streaming, but it's better and better. Like, it's still a tiny bit fuzzy, but it's really getting
Right.
there.
But you also get the clarity boost that you don't have access to in the browser or in the app. And I don't know, it might just be because it's a Windows app. That's why there's issues. It's because you have to tie in with those resources and everything else, whereas the browser may not have access to all of that. I don't really know.
I truly think that. Oh,
I just saw that they got Scorn, Enchanted, the new one, Shatterline, Hard West 2, and Kill All Zombies.
I know they got 5 new games came to their platform today. The Uncharted's the only one that I'm excited for. I could care less about Scorn, because I've been told, even though everybody wants to see me play that, it's a puzzle game and y'all can go F yourselves.
I went back and I have to say it's interesting. Now, I did go back on the last show. I said nope, but I did go back, played it.
I know, but I hate puzzles. The fact
No, it's not you. It's not you. It is not your game, Vet. I can tell you that right now.
I'm surprised nobody said, Vet, how are you playing A Plague Tale Requiem? That's got puzzles in it, but I can understand those puzzles.
Well, there's fighting too. You get to fight.
Yeah,
and
there's fighting and I kill people. I didn't realize, maybe I shouldn't.
there's
I won't
rats.
say
He's
too
in there
much
for the rats, folks. He loves the rats.
But there's other things that I found out in the game, and I don't want to spoil. I don't want to do spoiler alerts unless we don't care about that.
I do.
Okay, so I won't say anything then.
Just wanted to come back on the Xbox app that we're talking about compared to the browser. What I think might happen, I could be totally wrong, but I think eventually, for now, the app works for some people, but they're doing a lot of improvements in the browser that you can't find on the app. Really, some solid improvements, and it's the same story that comes for most people. Like, they play in the browser, it plays really well. They play in the app, and it's a shit show. And I think eventually they want to get to the point where the browser is to the quality standard that they want, and they'll just scrap the basically the portion of the app that plays the game in the cloud. They'll just scrap that and instead do what I said earlier. Do a PWA that's connected in there, so that no matter if you play in the app or you play in the browser, it ends up being the same thing. But I definitely think, like, because we haven't seen the app do any progress at all, while the browser has been improving tremendously and getting some new features. A lot of stuff they've been improving in there. So that's the feeling I get.
But since you we're still on the subject of the xCloud, the app, and all that. I know there was an image that was shared in our Discord from Audi, who found this, and I don't know how many other people have brought this up or noticed this, but if where is it? Xbox news discussion. Where did he share it? He found a chat feature that they're working on, and it might have been on the mobile thing. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know where he shared that image. I swear to God, I know I saw it somewhere.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Okay. Oh, that's right. He tweeted it out also, so that works. But yeah,
so credit to Audi for this.
Yeah, because I didn't see that, but that's interesting.
So this is in xCloud, and yeah, you have the old Xbox logo normally if you access the Xbox menu, and then you have your friends and the chat box. So,
which is interesting because I didn't even see Microsoft or anybody. Usually Tom Warren is one of those on Twitter that's pretty good at showing, talking all Microsoft stuff or, any of that stuff. And I really, that Audi was the only one that I've seen that really brought that up and posted it, because I didn't see anybody else. I haven't seen it anywhere. Any information on that?
Where did you actually find this Audi? Was it while playing? I'm gonna launch a game just to see if I can get the scene.
Yeah, I guess I didn't test that either. And I feel like I should have. God, I suck as a streamer.
Just gonna test it out to see.
All right, what game we playing?
I'm just launching Persona 5 just for example to see if.
So do you think what they're going to do with the Xbox app on Windows is it's going to be the same thing it is on Android and mobile, or at least on iOS, where it doesn't actually do anything but let you see, you can access all the mobile stuff. The only thing it lacks then is, and I don't know if it's the same on iOS or on Android, but on iOS, if you install the Xbox app, you can see your games, you can see, talk to your friends, things like that. The only thing you can't do is access cloud gaming. You have to do it as a PWA. So I'm wondering if they'll make it basically the Xbox app will do the same thing. Because remember, long before they got into cloud gaming, it didn't have that feature. It literally was just there to talk to friends, do all that same BS. So I'm wondering if they're going to eventually phase it out. Which, if that case, I would just uninstall the app. I wouldn't even need it on there then. He said, not in a game.
It has to be on the home screen. So basically, this screen here.
Press the random button. I love that I just press random buttons and shit happens. What the
Yeah,
hell?
I can.
Oh, you didn't see? It says it's not in Canada yet.
That'd be fun.
Possible.
I'm trying it. It's not popping up for me.
All right. Did you hack the shit? Did you press up, down, left, right, A, B, A, B?
Tried clicking on the little Xbox button on
Preview
the.
features. So there's a
what?
button for preview features here.
Where the hell did you get? Man, I really
So,
don't test things anymore.
There's
What
a
the hell is wrong
logo in the
with me?
corner. There's a my own logo there. So if you have your own logo set in your Xbox profile, you can click it. Normally
I
it's
do.
just the account settings, but he just added a bunch of stuff. It can appear offline. So they really improved a lot of stuff. I didn't know that. You have accessibility features, so narrator in game, high contrast on the website.
Wait.
So I can turn this on to have the
Wait,
high
where did-
contrast for
You had where
those
did?
with
Oh, preview features. I see it. Okay. Yeah, I've got that
system
one too.
sound on or off. Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, I tried hitting the Xbox button and it's not doing anything.
Yeah, no, it all it does is, let's say, no, it doesn't work for that. Like if you're looking at a game normally, like let's say hit Battletoad, I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
I can play in the cloud. If I hit this, it brings me back to the home menu.
Oh wow!
He said I pressed the Xbox button on the Xbox controller. Oh, I don't have one of those. Oh,
I do, and I just tried and it didn't work.
Brings me the main.
wait a minute. I wonder if he found it in. No, that's not it. That's what the. Oh, damn. I was
Thank
wondering
you,
if it was going to be.
I just turned on some of this stuff. Looks pretty dope.
Yeah, it's
I was
interesting.
wondering if it was.
Thanks.
I was wondering if it was going to be tied in with the Xbox the bar thing that they have. So when you hit the center
on
button,
mobile version. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just looking on the Xbox bar. So when you hit like the Windows G button and it shows all that background stuff, I was curious to see if it had maybe something in there as well, but it does not.
Might not be on the what's
Xbox game bar. Oh,
Yeah.
that's new.
I forgot to mention when we were going over games. I actually got to try the first Ascendant beta.
Oh, dude, please tell me, how is that? Because I've only saw one person talk about it.
I'm not familiar with that game.
It looks
pretty
nice.
Good. Like visually, it looks really good. It's a
what?
bit choppy frame rate though.
Can I still get in? They said a lot of people just click in, you're in.
Yeah,
Share your
you
screen?
just requested exit. I
Alright.
can. I mean, if you want to see gameplay, I can load it up real quick.
Oh,
Yeah,
you guys
sure.
are gonna love it. I think I could see Vet playing this. And
Cowboys
What type of
love
game
it.
is it?
Third-person shooter with super. It's like Outriders. You got superpowers.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you have firepower? Oh,
Who?
damn. Firepower.
The heck is that?
that out.
That's
I don't know.
when you eat Taco Bell and you go to washroom after.
Man,
You got the power to poop. Is that it? Is that what
You got the
It's
burn power.
brutal.
Burnt to diarrhea.
Ray, I'm going ahead and getting that the NFL Pro for the VR.
Nice. I
that
need
bad?
I
don't
need
know if
I need to
put
see
that- I
you
don't know
play
if
it.
I'm gonna try to. Well, I'm trying to see if I can get it. They're wanting me. They messaged me, said, "Why don't you pre-order and be the first to play Among Us VR and track down the imposter before it's too late?" And I don't want to play that in VR. I need games
Oh,
that require
dude,
me.
that's gonna look awesome, man. That would look
I need-
awesome.
I need games that literally tell me you can sit down and just.
Oh,
do
look,
VR.
I got a little thing that popped up and says Maker is playing with underneath the table. No, I'm just Maker is playing is the game.
I don't want to know why he's under the table.
It's loading right
That's-
now. Give me a moment.
No, the only reason I'm able to get the game is I haven't gotten paid yet from for my main income, but YouTube sent out my payment today, so shout out to YouTube. Thanks for paying me. Actually, it's mostly
Sure.
thanks to my community, because if it wasn't for the community, I'd be poor.
I picked up NBA 2K 23.
Top left where it says Xbox
Oh,
Cloud Gaming
yeah.
Beta, click on it. It doesn't do anything to me.
What
There's the
treat.
Xbox logo, but
I clicked on it, and guess what I got?
Nothing.
nothing.
Well, I did that high contrast, so I got the black and yellow, and it looks really cool because when I click on it, it flashes. Yeah.
Well,
cool.
when you highlight over the little Xbox app,
Oh, look at
when you're
that!
in
Look at that! Look at that!
it
thing
just says
flashes.
Xbox Cloud Gaming, so it literally would take you back to this page. Yeah, so if you go to another game, just click on a game and then hit that Xbox button, it takes you right back to the their main page.
Doc, do you have to be the yellow and black? Is there a way you can go and change the color?
I have no idea.
Because why would they pick just yellow and black and yellow, black and yellow?
Maybe they're Steelers fans. I don't know.
That's what it looked. That's what it reminds me of, and I don't like that. You know,
There's a give feedback button. Maybe you can give feedback
I heard, Ray, the other option if you're out in California is you can get
There it
burgundy
is.
and gold.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the hub, which is kind of like Destiny, where you got these little NPCs you talk to and get missions, and then there's like the world map that you can go to, and then I can go over here, select this mission.
It must be a mobile and tablet only feature for now. Gotcha. You might be right.
I did not.
Possible.
I don't have an Android phone around.
I have to look at my tablet.
Dang, this game is taking a while to load.
What are you on, dial-up?
Net zero.
It just kicked me back to the main menu. It kicked me to the main menu.
Well, that's what happens when you got that MSN internet, man.
Damn. Okay. All right. Oh my god! Look at that robot, whatever the hell that thing is.
That's my character.
That is your character?
Yeah.
What? Damn.
Why is he so big? Why is he so big? You know what? I don't want to know.
You can pick between three classes, basically.
Because he lifts.
That's a pretty lifted.
I mean, it doesn't.
All right, I'm gonna try and get into tonight.
Sorry, I just wanted to load in to like
for things that's.
Oh man! Anybody try the new Resident Evil Village demo? You know, Ron, come on, man.
Hasn't that been like forever?
Ron's our new troll.
He's a troll.
I thought it was Jeff, but I'm really thinking it's Ron now. Is it Shadow? Who do we got in the chat anyways? Is it Shadow Ron?
It just keeps kicking me back to the main menu when I try to go to the mission.
And you just sit there like, I'm frustrated.
I'm going to try to...
The damn Taco Bell, man.
It's like he's sitting on the toilet.
I don't know why it's hating up. So... let's try teleporting. Let's just try teleporting here. Jeez. Is it just when I teleport, it just crashes? Is that it? Oh, wait. That one's...
Well, Ron says there's a new third-person demo for Resident Evil Village.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
So that's news. He's not just trolling.
So yeah.
You know, we had to fact check him. That's why we called him a troll. So he's like, "Oh damn, I can't be in the same league as Jeff."
And that game looks good. Well, it looks choppy because of Melon, but it looks pretty good.
I will admit though, it does look pretty damn. Oh shit! What did I just do? It does look pretty good.
Yep.
What's the other button? Oh yeah, I get a grapple hook too, so I can. What's melee? I'm trying to figure out what melee was.
I don't know. It's the A button.
No.
And that's on PC. It'll be on consoles.
I'm not sure. I actually don't know what it's all going to be on. How do I? I wish it had a little better marker of telling me when or where I can use that grapple. Is
Oh,
it's like a looter
Ray,
shooter.
that pre-order for Among Us VR is only $10.
Okay.
Which isn't bad at all.
Pew 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 pew. Pew pew.
What is the melee button? Oh, it's LB, and I see it on the bottom right. But if I grapple and then hit like LB it slams down. If I like double jump, I can slam down. Trying to see if I can't change.
Looks a lot like
it.
Outriders.
Yeah, it is very much like it's a looter shooter, third person shooter,
And not like Outcasters, by the way.
Well, I do like
So-
your character.
Here's the other characters you can choose from.
Is that Bunny? What the hell is a bunny?
Are you talking about right here? What the
Is
heck?
it like a Viera from
Wow.
Final Fantasy 14?
It's more robot based. It looks like.
Robots in disguise.
Whoa.
That goes from Metal Gear Solid 5.
Hey, this Bayonetta.
Cool characters.
Whoa.
Yeah, those are the different like classes basically.
Yeah.
It looks like you'll be able to swap out some items, runes. Not sure what those are for. And then
Looks pretty
rune, you get
good.
your quest. Yeah, it seems pretty solid, and I think it has bugs. It seems, at times I get some issues.
What doesn't have bugs?
Well, it's still a beta.
That's true.
Thoughts on Silent Hill 2, the remake? The trailer looked very interesting, and I might have to.
Why is that just sitting there?
Speaking of silent, look at this right here. Sealed. It's
Ooh.
Japanese Silent Hill.
You don't like Silent Hill though.
You don't care.
I like singing Silent Night at Christmas.
Audi says, where should I put a video on Discord? How to get that screen on tablet with friends and chat on xCloud?
Yeah, the friends in chat would work. Well, if you're going to share the video, like, are you sharing your screen? If you're sharing your screen, you want to use the video, the friends in chat one. Notification audio. I'm still thinking here.
I want to unlock some of my other abilities, but I know I'm gonna have to do a main mission for that.
Remote installation for PC.
Yeah, I definitely think the grapple needs like a marker to tell me that I'm within range. Like in Halo, your cursor will turn like a certain color when you're able to actually land it.
Even in Fortnite, it does it.
Yeah.
Does
Just-
it very well in Fortnite.
Equip a new weapon.
And when is that coming out?
Which one? This one?
Mm-hmm.
No clue. I don't think they've announced the release date.
And you said the name of the game is?
The Last Descendant. I
Gonna have to keep an eye on this.
All right, Ray. I went ahead and bought that game.
You're a baller.
Already?
Which game? No, I just got the NFL one. And I'm going to pre-order Among Us VR. So apparently, when I have access to it, I'll stream it live for people to watch me try to play that shit in VR. Oh, it's only available. Among Us VR is only for the Quest 2 and the Meta Quest Pro. Because, spend $1,500 on a VR headset that's geared for business. God forbid you got to have a $10 video game. Well, thank God they have Chinese for the language. I mean, Jesus, what would I do without it? You know damn well you're gonna want to watch me play that once it's. When is it released?
What game?
Among Us VR.
Oh yeah.
So, Audi shared a video showing how to get to that menu.
All right.
So,
Oh, there you go. Yes, he did. It's under game photos.
Game
which
photos.
I'm assuming.
he opens
in our
Windows menu.
I'm doing it right along with you guys.
Yeah, it's got a social tab and a chat tab.
I wonder if it's because it looks like. Rewind it a little bit to like I'm wondering if it's preview features. So I'm wondering if it's a slow rollout then.
Could be.
Because it literally says preview features, and we all had, well, at least all of us had that check marked or the thing enabled. So I'm wondering, does that mean then it's going to be a slow rollout?
Could very well be.
Yeah. So I'm curious though too, is if he's on mobile, does that
mean I know.
you
Okay,
have-
enable preview features. You'll get early access to features and content. Yes.
So is it? I wonder if it's going to be if that's a mobile thing though. I don't have that feature because I'm using a web app, but I'm wondering if you use however the actual app is on Android, if it's different, because Android has an Xbox app, at least on mobile phones.
Yeah.
If I'm correct, yeah. So I'm wondering if it's something with that. If you have that feature, like you can enable preview features for the app as well as the browser. Then, interesting. So it looks like they're going to be there. I'm guessing it's got to be a slow rollout, is what I'm assuming.
So we got Christopher Torres in the chat. What's up, yo listening?
Got JD in the chat.
JD, Cloud Nation is sus.
Yo.
What's up, JD? Good to see you, man.
JD, why don't I see you on our show? Unacceptable.
Option under accounts and preview features on mobile.
He's playing Persona 5 on Xbox. That's why.
No, you know what he's doing. He's watching us on a tiny, probably on his mobile phone, and he's got on his big screen. He's got NHL 23 loaded up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if I had a PlayStation 5, I'd probably do the same thing, but they don't exist in this small town that I live in.
So there's a lot of news that came out. Right now, what time is it? Okay. Well, Vet, we're going to start with this. You shared some stuff about some new games added on Boosteroid.
Yeah, those just came out today. I got the email and the alerts and all that fun stuff about 11 o'clock this morning while I was still streaming. So I couldn't really look at everything, but I did see Uncharted, which that's cool. I actually want to get that one now. So I have to.
Those are
Shatterline
amazing games.
Shatterline's added. That's free. So if you have Boosteroid, you can just click add to your library because it's a free to play game. Scorn, and I don't know what the other two are, but they don't look like something that I would play.
Yeah,
I mean, 2 out of the 5 is that's still 5 new games, and some of those are new. Like Scorn is new. Shadowline just recently came out, even though the PC players destroyed that game with cheating. Assholes. Yeah, if it wasn't for like when we checked it out, Doc. If it wasn't for the cheating part, I like.
Where's JD?
But yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty cool that they're still bringing stuff. So I was pleased with it.
Yeah, Shadowland has a solid gunplay, but man, and when you play PvP, there's a lot of cheating.
Oh yeah.
They really know how to be a.
And we got Chase, the gaming advocate, joining in. What's
What
up?
up? What up? What up?
Good to see you, Chase. How's it going?
Good. Did I it was 8 p.m. I'm sorry. I thought it was 9. My bad, y'all.
Oh, no problem.
I'm always late, like every week. This is one of the few times that I'm on time.
Yeah,
JD
well,
never shows up half the time.
I clearly didn't read, so I'm sorry about that, guys.
No problem. We also
Oh,
had a
good.
lot of stuff planned out for today. Thanks for coming. How's it going, man?
Man, it's been a week. It's been a week.
One of those.
Yeah, it's been a week.
So I saw that you got a new shiny toy.
Oh, yeah. Actually, hold on. Let me grab it over here.
Yes.
Talking about this?
Ooh. I want one.
Is it
I want one.
heavy? Is it light?
Ever light.
So
We got somebody else joining in, JD.
Oh my goodness.
What is?
Sneaky JD.
what's going on, JD? So the question was, is it light? That's what Ray asked.
Hilarious.
It's a little heavier than the Switch, but not by much. So I'll give you a little bit of a hot take. I won't like talk about everything that I think about it just yet, because I'm going to do a video on Sunday about it. But here's a spoiler: it's the best handheld I've ever encountered.
Nice.
There's definitely flaws. I wish the triggers were a little better. I'm not a big fan of analog triggers, to be honest. But that's a minor complaint. I think this is probably one of the best handhelds to get the analog sticks right in a long time. And I've seen, I think I watched a couple reviews today. I think there's a lot of people that are looking at this device in a fair way, that if you're just looking at it as a cloud only device, I think, there's a lot of room to have some complaints, especially with the price. I don't know that this is a device that is going to be where someone would buy it. And if they're only a cloud, let's say a cloud enthusiast, that's, what you would like to use it for. I do think there's a justification to say that there's other options out there that might be more cost effective at this time. I do think this device will come down in price. But here's where I think I want to look at it from the other side of it, is that I don't know that this device is being looked at in the right way. If you're someone that likes cloud, has native options, wants to be able to play on the go inside of your house, doesn't use the PC library, it isn't like a Steam adopter, which I'm not into the Steam ecosystem. I do think this device has value, as weird as that's going to sound. And I do think if you're a person that you like cloud, you have an Xbox, you have GeForce Now, or you only have just GeForce Now, and let's just even say a PC, let's say you got Steam. I think the price point, if you don't want to have to go up $50 and you're just going to be streaming in your house, I don't have an issue with the price personally. But again, I think the tough part with this is I think there's some reviews that I saw where it's this and that's it, and there's no other conversation. This device really depends on your use case. I can't stress that enough. It really depends on your use case.
Christopher Torres asked what the price was on it.
So I got it at the pre-order price, which was at $299 with a discount, so it ended up being like $270. I think the sweet spot for this device is $199 to $249. If it's anywhere in there, I think that this device is. I definitely think it's a purchase. I would feel comfortable saying that. At $299 to $349, I think it depends on your use case. Again, if you're a cloud gamer only, I would say do your research, see what else is out there, see if this is really what you want to use. And it does well in the cloud streaming, it does well in remote play. So I'm not saying that to like scare anybody. I'm just saying that I don't know if this will be for that use case, but I do think if you have an Xbox, you have a PC, you have GeForce Now, this is a good supplemental device that's going to give you more opportunity to game at what is best for you. So like, for example, if my wife is watching TV, I don't feel like coming out here sometimes, and I don't feel like booting up the Xbox on my phone. I've already been playing Jedi Fallen Order on this, and I can't see myself going back to the Chromebook. I mean, that's how much this device has convinced me to use the device. It's got me into that kind of place. So,
Nice.
But yeah, hands down, in my opinion, again, without getting into more than that, I do think this is the best handheld that I've encountered to this point. And I have a Switch. I have encountered the Steam Deck, 3DS, the Vita. You go through the list of handhelds from over time, this is probably the best one I've encountered. And also ergonomics. You're not going to find a device that fits in your hand where you don't feel like after an hour, you're like, this was the worst decision of my life. That's not how you feel with this device. So a lot of positives, but again, there's also some things that I think people really do need to think about for their situation. I don't think it's a rush out and purchase immediately. You really need to think about it for your situation. That's my recommendation.
Yeah, there's multiple devices that are coming out right now that are somewhat similar, but very different from one another. Razer Edge is one of them that's been announced that's coming next year. There's this device, there's the Steam Deck, and it really depends on, from my understanding, what you want to do with it. What is your primary use you want to do with it? So this device, it's network gaming, so either cloud gaming or remote play. 100% this device is optimized for this from my understanding.
It is. Yeah, and to your point, like for the Razer device, if you're a 3080 tier member of GFN or you're into mobile gaming, that device is going to be the better device just because you're going to get more out of it probably. The only thing that I would say to just be considerate of, and we just don't know about that device yet, and I'm just telling you from my experience with this one, they have optimized this in a way that I've not seen with another handheld. So when it's in the game mode, anytime you launch an individual app, it closes out all the other apps to prioritize what you're using to conserve the bandwidth of the CPU and to extend battery life. I've already had this.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I can't think of another handheld that's done that.
So Chase, how long was the battery life lasting you so far?
We're right at about 10.5 to 11 hours, so about what they advertised.
Nice.
And I think it's because of that. Once you go into tablet mode, if you're running heavy Android usage, you're going to probably go through this battery. It's a 6,000 milliamp battery, so I mean it's beefy. It's got enough to last, but it doesn't matter what Android device you're using. If you're got multiple applications running, and that again, I don't know how they're going to optimize the Razer device. That's why I'm bringing this up. You're going to run through the battery if there's not good optimization. So that is one positive again about this device, that they've really put some thought and care into it, which is again, I was very surprised. I'm just being honest with you all. I was sold on the device. I wanted to try it. I thought that it could fit my use case. I've been pleasantly surprised in multiple areas. And then again, there's also some drawbacks. There are some things that people are going to need to consider about this. And I'm going to get into that on Sunday because there are a couple of things that I noticed with it that I wasn't a big fan of. And I do think that it's fair to go ahead and put those criticisms out there too.
I think it's great. The only issue I have right now is the price. That's the only thing I have with it. It's the price. Otherwise, it's great.
Yeah.
The price point that you said, if it's at that price point, I would definitely something I would want to get.
If you're, and I think Maker was going to say something, but if you're a cloud only enthusiast, I don't know that I could recommend this at 300. That being said, if you're someone, or not 300, 349, if you're someone that is a native, PC gamer, native console gamer, and you like cloud, and you want something to where, again, you have kids, you have your wife is taking up the TV, you want to be able to game on the go in your house, I think it's worth the price from that standpoint. But if you're only cloud gaming, I just don't know. Again, I think there's some things we need to see more on with this device over time. How is it supported? Does it continue to get updates? I do think by January, February, it's going to drop in price. Some people are saying it's going to be under $199. I don't think so. I think it's going to be closer to $200. If I had to venture a guess, to $249.
$229. I would see it at $229.
I see it $299 in January. I don't see it dropping price that fast.
Unless $229 within 2 years.
I can see that within
$229 is fair. $229, I think it's fair.
$220, yeah.
I would say $199 to $249 is where I think it'll be by like February, March timeframe. I think it'll drop. They did see a big. So here's the other thing. I don't know if y'all saw this, but when the device rolled out on Tuesday, Logitech completely underestimated the demand. Completely underestimated.
Oh, yeah. I saw reports. There were people saying that their orders were, there was issues with, they got pushed back even further for shipping dates because they just didn't have any. They
didn't have the inventory for it. And mine was delayed. I had to go to, so I ordered through Best Buy and my store was delayed until Halloween.
Wow.
So I had to go through
when
another
did you place
store.
the order? And you placed the order like the day it was launched, or
Sunday.
Thereof?
Sunday.
So, okay.
So I mean, it was late, but to be fair, I know Ray knows this and Doctor knows this, but I was waiting to see what that Razer device was going to look like. I didn't want to just rush into a purchase until I saw what was Razer offering and what was this device offering. But yeah, no, they. Oh, go ahead, JD. Sorry.
No, I wonder if they, for inventory, they just kind of like, they didn't scale it fully, but kind of underestimated just to test to see what the response was going to be for this device, and then come back later with some more inventory.
I think that's exactly what they did. I think they honestly, and I don't blame them for this. And I think we all kind of are in the same boat without having mixed feelings about this device, even in the initial stages. I don't think they knew what the demand was going to look like. And the fact that there was demand for this is what's interesting to me about this device right now. It's in a very weird spot because it sits between the Steam Deck and the Switch. And then you've got some of the other handhelds. I really want to see how many of these units did they move in the first 2 to 3 weeks, because that's going to tell us a lot. If there's really a demand for this kind of a device,
Christmas, it's going to be one of the hottest items at Christmas.
It is. Because it's highly advertised for xCloud, and xCloud is gaining a lot of ground.
Well, hold on. And to be fair, GeForce Now is promoting this like crazy.
Yeah, GeForce Now, whatever the video
popular.
Yeah,
a lot of subscribers. Right. But it's both of those services are covering a lot of ground. But xCloud has really exploded in demographics. Like, there's a lot of people playing with the touch controls more and more. They're exploring a lot of features, and it's really blowing up. So both of those brands are highly advertising it.
Bless you.
Yeah, a bit of a cough that's remaining from this week. But
hope you feel better, man.
They're putting a lot of resources in this. They're collaborating with it, and it's showing in the number of people that are adopting those cloud features. It's increasing. So you bring a device like that, I don't know how many units they had prepared, but like Stadia, when it came out, they overshot this, they undershot. Eventually they'll realize it's a growing curve for the adoption of cloud. Most people, it's still just a side game.
Yeah,
like they have their rigs. Not a lot of people will use cloud as a main gaming environment. But there's more and more people realizing if you have good enough internet, the performance is good enough. It's really like with GFN. I get better performance with GFN than with my PC, and by far. So the adoption is increasing from day to day. So that's why a device like that, it's going to move a lot of unit over time.
Go ahead.
real quick, but Chase, you hit it right on the button now, because I'm really was looking at the Steam Deck, but I see where the sticks are at, and then the Razer, I see where the sticks are at, and then I look at the Logitech one, and I see where the sticks are at, and I see where the buttons at, and for some reason, I think where the Logitech sticks and the buttons, I don't know, it does it for me. It does it for me.
I'm telling y'all, like I'm not just saying this.
Hey, Dr. Stratus, he on his Twitter page, he put all three of those consoles together, and that's what I'm looking at. They're all side by side, and you can get a better look at them.
Yeah.
You probably hear my cat in the background.
Oh,
No,
good.
but what I was gonna say is, Ray, like, and I'm not just saying this. Like, again, I've had multiple handholds in the past, like, you know,
Right.
going way back. I can't remember one that felt like this. And I can't remember one that, like, there has definitely been some detail and care put in by both Xbox and GeForce Now into this device. The way it's optimized,
Right.
the way that they've set it up. What's interesting for the GFN side of it, and I kind of wondered this the other day, is you know, the reason that maybe they're promoting this so much is a majority of their users on that free tier and the priority tier. You know, they don't see that they have as many 3080 members. So it's like, yeah, that would be great to promote the Razer, and we're behind it. But where is it that we're going to see more of a return for customers that are actively in our user base? I'm not saying that's the case, but it's interesting the amount of promotion and advertising that's been put behind this device. And the more and more I use it, I start to realize that, like, I get it. Like, from just a handheld standpoint, a true handheld,
Right.
that's what it is. It's not a Kishi. You know, I don't want to go off on my complaints about the Kishi here, but it's not a Kishi. It's definitely, it feels like what a Nintendo Switch should have been. Like the grips,
Ooh.
everything is just like, it's
Ooh.
perfectly laid out
Ouch. Nice.
from just a layout standpoint. Now, whether you like the device for what it does, again, that's up for debate, but I just mean from a form factor standpoint, it is honestly the best handheld I've ever encountered. I don't know how else to say it. You know, I was shocked. I was really surprised. Like, again, I wanted to be like, I don't like this, but then I was like, man, these analog sticks, man, they're really good. The bumper's really good. D-pad, okay. Face buttons, really, really solid. And then again, I have some complaints with the triggers, but you know, it is what it is. I think you're going to find complaints with any device, but I think overall, Logitech they've made a good device. Again, it's debatable about the price, but they've made a good device.
This reminds me, this streaming reminds me of like Chromebooks. Like, everybody's wondering what's the purpose of a Chromebook?
Early days,
early
right?
days of the Chromebook, right? Like, what's the purpose of a Chromebook? You know, internet only capable thing. Like, what is this today? You got all these manufacturers making Chromebook machines, right? And now cloud streaming technology feels like a bunch of manufacturers, bunch of companies trying to figure out what's the best way to make cloud adoptable in the landscape where you have, like, essentially you're competing with phone companies. You compete against backbones, the controller to attach to your phone, to your tablet. You're competing with those guys at these price points. Then you're competing with console gamers. You're competing with PC gamers. And it's like everybody's just trying to figure out, where does cloud gaming fit amongst gamers in this landscape? And even with the new Chromebooks for gaming being out as well, it's like everybody's just find that perfect piece of the puzzle. And I feel like it's interesting to see who will take cloud gaming to the next level that everybody is looking for, as far as, is it in the machine? Is it in the handheld?
Well, you're winning already with xClock and GeForce. You got those two apps, you've won.
Well,
okay.
Doc, I shared
Plus-
a link
I would
for you that kind of ties in with this Microsoft stuff.
I just wanted to say real quick, my biggest complaint with the G Cloud is no 5G support. and I think that's where for me the Razer wins out.
But-
And I would say manageability. Like I'd
But-
probably be able to take the Razer with me on the go, where with the G Cloud it doesn't look like it's really able to like fit in your pocket and like take with you.
So what cell phone service do you have though?
Verizon.
Okay, so you could get that. Well, what if you had AT&T or T-Mobile? Oh, that's right. The Razer's locked to Verizon,
Well-
so it's locked to one cell phone. And that's my issue with it. That's my biggest issue with it because I saw that with the Pixels. The Pixels were undersold for so long because they were locked to Verizon for so long, and then when they branched it out.
PSP Go?
Dude, but that 144
Was it like those
hertz
old-
though, man.
Those old gaming things, wasn't they lots of cell phone characters back in the day? I forgot the
They
the
were
N-Cage?
whatever.
The
Yeah,
problem
the
is-
N-Cage.
But the problem is Verizon. Yeah, I get Verizon touts 5G and all this.
Damn you all.
The problem that I have is that it's only good if you're in the bigger areas in the big cities that has access to those kind of speeds. But you're limiting that device to a specific carrier, and it should not be limited that way. I don't think it's going to sell well.
So there's three things that I was going to say. So because there was something that JD said, but just to go to Maker's point, and then I know Maker was going to finish a thought, but see, I think this is where this is difficult. I don't think there's an end all be all with any of these devices. That's the tricky part with this, and even with 5G. We still don't know what these phone carriers are going to do with data caps. Like again, Verizon has not been clear about what happens if you reach your 20 gigs of data on one of these devices. Do then they throttle you and then you can't play your game? So then that defeats the purpose. How many people are truly going to a park or truly going to an airport where they need to cloud game? Is that device more of a mobile device for like Call of Duty Mobile or Warzone? Mobile? You know, I mean, there's so many variables with this stuff.
Right.
The thing you mentioned, the airports, the restaurant, parks, and all that. A lot of these places are getting free Wi-Fi though, and yes, a lot of places the performance is rough.
Yeah, I mean, have you been to some places? I mean, to Maker's point, he's right. I mean, like, think about the hotel Wi-Fi. Ain't great.
No.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
I-
the Wi-Fi.
you're right.
No.
I tried.
Wi-Fi sucks.
When I went to go visit my friends in Tennessee, I stayed at a hotel, and I tried playing what was it, Breakfast with Ray at the time, and I was like, sorry man, it's just not letting me join because the game would crash like 20 minutes in, and just
Unless you
I had to update. They said if I wanted better internet,
That's what I was gonna say. You have to pay for the premium internet.
You have to pay for
Yeah,
the
we gotta
premium.
pay for the
And I'm like, what
premium
the hell? This damn hotel room's premium.
But it's
not only that,
I
but
feel-
it's the same way at the airports. I was flew out of Atlanta one time, and their internet sucks, and I'm not paying extra money just to have what they call better
I don't know if
premium
you was
internet,
at
which
the
I know-
ACL airport, man.
But that's something that I feel is going to go away eventually. And eventually, I don't mean in 15 years. We as a society have become dependent on, like, to rely on internet access and always relying on your mobile data, your cell phone, like you're carrying your laptop around. Eventually, that handled, it's going to be in more and more hands. We need to have accessible, reliable internet in more places, and internet is becoming cheaper and cheaper. The network is just growing, and as that network grows, it becomes easier to provide it to more and more people as a service, as whatever. So those cheap, unreliable internets that we're seeing right now in hotels and restaurants and parks, they will only get better over time. And I do believe this.
Yeah.
He's the
I
United
do
States.
believe that it won't take too long until
Right.
you'll be able to take for granted that you have a good enough internet connection to do like some basic cloud stuff at lower resolution.
And this
like
is-
playing xCloud. xCloud is
that gonna be-
optimized to run with a
is that gonna
very
be-
low bit rate.
But that
But-
updated internet, what is that? That'll be a Canadian thing because it ain't going to happen in the
Really,
US.
that ain't going to be a US thing for a while.
not yet.
Right, because look,
that word that I put in there that starts with the G, the
big G,
it's
the
never,
big G.
never going to happen in the US.
So there
And
was
this is what I said for it. Like, to Chase's point, everybody's use case scenario with cloud is going to be different. I've been traveling all this year. I've been, California, Texas. I've been Chicago. I've been traveling all this year, and for
Chicago
my
didn't
use
visit,
case,
what they have.
yeah, I know, man. I didn't know.
Unacceptable.
Yeah, I know, right? Dang.
Go ahead.
But my use case scenario was I was just using my Switch, and when I did try the cloud game, it just wasn't
it's not there.
scenario just wasn't right for cloud gaming. Whether that was the hotel with their expense, pay an extra $10 for
Even 5G, I've had bad experiences.
right, just 5G. Your phone not connecting to the right 5G tower and stuff
Yep.
like that. And so I really found out for me cloud gaming as I've been traveling back and forth. And even if you're a military, again, talk about military people on military bases, the internet is a little bit suckier as well.
Oh yeah, military bases internet is rough.
Right, it's rough as well. And so I just found like cloud gaming outside of my home was not a use case scenario for me.
So, and I saw this article. There was two other things I was going to say. Something that JD said about Chromebooks, and again, this goes back to with this device, the Razer, any of them. The Chromebooks are going to be $600 to $1,000. These gaming Chromebooks that we just saw that have the higher refresh rate. So now you're playing this game of, is the $1,000 worth it, or do I just want the handheld at $300? So now you got that. Mm-hmm. Then it comes down to, as JD was just saying, your internet. And here's the crazy part for me. I have the worst use case for internet. I have DSL. It's the oldest form of internet. It sucks. It's horrible. And yet this device seems to be doing okay. My phone does okay with, a couple of these services, minus GeForce Now and Luna. So, I can't stress to people enough, though, man. Like, you really need to do your own research and see what is going to be best for your situation. Because again, I think if you fall into, and same thing would be with the Razer, if you fall into one of these situations where you game natively with a PC and a console, cloud is a supplement. You want something for home, but you don't want a Steam Deck because you're not in the Steam library, or you're like, I don't want to go pay for other games in Steam that I could get on this service. Then this device might make the most sense for you, which is what my situation is. So just really do some research. That's all I can say.
Yeah, that's really good.
I just think for me in particular, especially if I wanted to play some mobile, because I have played like COD Mobile, I played Diablo Immortal, and these mobile device centric games, with the G Cloud being retail $350, and then the Razer Edge at $400, and you're getting double the refresh rate. It's an OLED screen instead of an LCD. It's better CPU in it. You have a better newer Snapdragon processor. You've got double the RAM of the G Cloud. Just spec wise, all around the board. If you want a mobile game, the Razer Edge,
I agree with that.
Beats it out of the water.
Yeah, mobile gaming, there's no competition. Something I did notice I wanted to mention here real quick, and I do think I'll mention it here because I think it's important to what Maker was just saying. So COD and Apex on mobile, the controller that's built into this device does not work with it. Now, I think, to be fair, before I completely hate on this device, I think both of those games only support PlayStation and Xbox controllers from what I read. So I think even with the Razer device coming up, unless they optimize it with the Kishi Pro, the V2, it's going to be the same situation. You'll have to use touch controls. So
it is using the V2, which I believe follows the Xbox layout. I don't know if it.
Well, this follows the Xbox layout too, but from what I'm hearing, is it for most devices, unless you hook up a PlayStation controller or an Xbox controller, it doesn't recognize it unless you have a separate remappable. It's like an application you have to pay for. It's a mess. Like I think that's kind of a, hey, Call of Duty Mobile and Apex, come on. Get
I
some,
would say,
get some
I would say,
support.
I would say at the very least, you could just detach the controller with the edge and just play it using touchscreen controls.
Well, you can do that with this, and you could also like do Bluetooth with the Xbox controller, and that did work, by the way.
What?
I was able to get it to work.
I feel
Wow,
like
okay.
I feel like if you can't really like with touch, I feel like it'd be a little awkward because you do have those.
It is. I agree with you.
And that's where I think like the Razer Edge in like a mobile scenario where it's using mobile controls,
Totally agree.
it's probably gonna feel a little bit better. And I guess that's where I'm like I see this more of like mobile focused and more designed for maybe that kid that likes to play on a tablet, but they've got a really old tablet and want to game, and someone visits their like Verizon carrier and they're like, yeah, we got this Razer Edge tablet thing you can play your games on 120 hertz. It's a gaming tablet.
144.
Yeah, 144, my bad.
144.
And it just
Don't forget the photo.
and it's just a big selling point for the kid. You know, the kid's like, oh, I want this so I can play COD.
It's hands down the better. Like if you're a mobile gamer, I'm not even gonna lie to you right now. I'm looking right into this camera. I'm being truthful and honest. The G Cloud's not for you. You need to buy the Razer. It is a better device for mobile gaming. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. 100% the better device.
They're gonna they're gonna throw some earbuds in there for you too. I saw in the package deal.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's
I don't know about all that.
To me, I just
$40.
I just see the Razer Edge being a lot more appeasable for a wider audience because it is more focused around mobile and less so
They better
around
make sure that
focused on
Kishi's better.
cloud.
Having it locked to Verizon though,
Yeah.
what happens to Canada and Europe?
I mean,
Unless they get a
they've got-
partnership.
Was it?
they've got- yeah, they'd have to have some sort
Probably
of
different
partnership.
carriers like Rogers or
But
Mhm.
I don't know if they will because they had a previous Razer Edge, and that was they locked it only to Verizon. But I don't know how well that sold. Maybe if this one sells a lot more, they're gonna branch it out to other, companies. But for the time being, they said it is exclusive to Verizon at the moment.
and so
And-
it's not even an option for me.
But I think they do offer that Wi-Fi model, which is effectively the same as the G Cloud, just with better specs.
Can
Did we
you
ever-
buy it on lot?
Yeah, that's a good question too. Did we ever find out from their announcement maker of whether or not it was 16:9 on the aspect ratio? Because they didn't clarify that.
I believe it is. I think on their website they've got it listed as 16:9.
Okay, well that's a good thing because if it isn't, then you're going to get those theater like bars on the side of the game, which there's another positive for this device. You don't get that; it fills the full screen, so that's another
wow.
really good thing.
Nice.
That's good.
Something I'm not a fan of with the Razer device is the fact that it's using the Kishi. I already have the version 1 of the Razer Kishi here. So by going with the Razer device, you just end up again with a Razer Kishi that detaches. It's separate hardware.
You're getting the Kishi.
Yeah, but the
V2
Switch
Pro.
does the same thing with removable controllers.
I don't know that I agree with that. That's no. I'm sorry, because here's the difference. I'll tell
I
you.
know a
real
lot of
quick.
people who remove the controllers from the Switch and play it like that.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
you can't-
never got that, but
Switch controller locks into much better than
That's
the
it.
Kishi. The
Mhm.
Kishi, you're playing,
Oh,
one
yeah.
side comes
That's
apart.
fucked.
and-
My phone came out of the version 1 and it almost broke the screen. I almost lost it.
Oh my god.
And then as I was playing the next, like about 2 weeks later, you probably saw this in the video I did.
Oh,
I
it
was,
has Wi-Fi
heavy-
6E.
heavy gaming
Force,
session.
Cyberpunk.
Nice.
And I went like this, JD, like to press, and it almost like bent. I'm like, what in the world? I'm like, oh my god. And with the Switch
Oh.
controllers, you can use them as actual controllers when it's not docked. I mean, there's
You're
a lot
right.
of things. There's a lot of things that I just, if they've made it, listen to Maker. To be fair, if they've made the V2 Pro better, where it actually locks in and there's no way that the device can come out, then fine. But if it's anything like that first version, I don't. Man, there's gonna be a lot of people with broken Razer Edge 5Gs going on.
I'm not sure I just know that it is a pro version, so it's supposed to be a slightly modified version of the V2. And
I hope so.
It's supposed to have they announced like haptic feedback on
Haptics,
it. Yeah. But
Um,
I don't know exactly other than that what they're adding to it.
I hope so.
Personally, I
hope so.
feel like the Razer already loses me because it's a separate device. The G Cloud, it's a one solid device.
I don't know. I'm looking
Maybe
at
if Razer did something like that, like a separate handle that has the controller built in, that it's not a separate unit that you attach like a Kishi, that might interest me. But the G Cloud,
I'm okay with a 7-inch screen. I mean, it's with the Razer, it's a 6.9-inch screen. It's 2400 by 1080.
They're almost
It's
the
the
same. to be
same.
fair.
It's basically the same
The only
screen
difference,
size as the,
well, yeah, the difference is you're getting a 5,000 milliamp battery in it, but it also supports 4G LTE along with the 5G. I didn't realize that either. And the Wi-Fi 6E.
Man, I don't know.
I need a
yeah,
price.
it is.
400.
It does come with Wi-Fi 6. It's just like
3
spec-wise all
gigahertz.
around the board.
Anybody got a
Edge-
anybody got a contact for Logitech? Let's start sending out free devices to everybody. Let's do that.
There you go.
I think that's the answer.
Lowering the price of it.
Oh my gosh.
'Cause I think a lot of you guys are on the point. If the Logitech was like 250, it would sell like hotcakes, like even more.
If it was
Mhm.
well, it's already
249,
selling a lot. But
yeah, it is. Sorry.
Yeah.
but how much leg will it have at that price? They'll remain
At
to be
249, I would tell everybody right now, go buy.
Oh yeah, because effectively it'd be around half the cost of the Edge, and then I'd be like, yeah. If you want the cheaper, but more budget friendly, that one is definitely a lot more appealing. It's just at its current price point. I think it's too much.
Ron had asked a question. I just brought it back on last week. Is it too soon to buy G Cloud?
See what you think with it first. I mean, honestly, again, I don't think anyone should rush into buying this device. I really just can't say that enough. You really need to look at this and see, like, is it something that works for you? Like, Ashes. You all know Ashes.
Yes.
He's got a PC.
Yeah.
He's got an Xbox Series X. He's got GFN. He got it as a supplemental device, specifically for Steam Link.
He played Luna on it.
Yeah, and he played Luna on it, and it ran very, very well, from what he said. Oh, actually, he's got the video out there. It ran well on the video as well.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean,
So-
I don't know. I wouldn't rush into it. Like, the only reason I did it is I knew I wanted this device. And then I knew that if I didn't like it, Best Buy's got a 30-day return policy. I was going to send it back. So, it was going to be one of two things. Either I was going to like it or I was getting my money back.
And personally, spec wise, like I love that it has 12 hours worth of batteries. And in terms of specs, to me on a screen that size, like if I'm playing right now, my computer, I got a 1440p screen, 144 hertz, everything, all the big shebang. I like having those specs on the big screen. But if I'm playing on a handheld, to me, 1080p 60 does it plenty. Maybe a higher refresh rate could be fun, but you don't need much more than 1080p. And now I just feel like the resolution and refresh rate of that device is just right. It doesn't burn your battery. It gives you very good performance. It's a more does everything device that way works with a lot of stuff. I'm really sold on the G Cloud. I'm looking at all of them, and the G Cloud for me seems to be the device that meets more the men if you like cloud gaming, and yeah, you got remote play and a few things like that. Like it does look like it's a comfortable device to hold, easy to carry around, and not worried about losing pieces and all. So very consumer friendly.
I think the thing that gets me, I don't really care too much about a 11-hour battery life, because if I'm going to game on the go, I'm probably only gaming for like the Steam Deck was perfect for me because I could cloud game with like 5-6 hours on that device. But if I was going to sit down for long sessions, I would be playing on my Xbox, on my PS5, on my PC. I just don't see using that device for that long. So that's where the edge would probably win out, because if I'm going to game maybe 3 hours out and about a day, that to me seems like and if I want to play something more competitive, like a COD mobile, like something that 120 144 frame rate, I think that is a bit more appealing to those who really enjoy those first person shooters.
I mean, the reviews I'm looking at, the pros are excellent battery life, comfortable design, best cloud gaming app supported, plays mobile games. Cons, it says UI issues, expensive for what it is, no 4G or 5G.
Should I say anything there? Spoiler alert, yes, there are some UI complaints, but not enough to... It doesn't break the device.
And the device just came out. Most likely there'll be fixes to the UI.
They just had an update today, and there is some improvement.
But I'm seeing, out of like the 5-star ratings, I'm seeing like 4 out of 10 ratings. I'm seeing like 6 and 7. So I mean, it's good. I mean, I don't see nothing like really low, and I see a lot of people are impressed with it. And I'm starting, from what I heard from what Chase said and from what I'm reading, I'm kind of like starting to kind of lean over and like, I like where the controls, and I like what I'm hearing. So I just, because that Razor, man, that thing is beautiful, but damn, it's expensive.
Well,
it's expensive.
You also
go with a retailer that has a 30-day money-back guarantee, right?
If you're looking at, but you also got to look at it this way. If you're looking at the Razor, you already know it's going to be expensive because it's a Razor, literally.
Right.
Yeah. You know what you're getting. You know automatically if you're looking at that, you're paying. If you're going to be paying,
or why not both?
If anything, for specs though, I would say the G Cloud is way overpriced compared to the Razor.
Yeah, but you're not just paying for the specs. You're paying for the quality of life, the build, construction, and all. And I don't know.
I agree with that, Doctor. I think it's more than just like here's the one thing that I found interesting.
Yeah, but
I know we've been talking.
Look at the specs though. Like when I look up a laptop, the first thing I look at is like what does it have in it? What?
Yes, but hold on. I think, and I don't know if this is where you're going, but I want to clarify something because I saw somebody say this on another. This was a review 3 weeks ago, and it wasn't even a review. It was kind of like someone saying something that at the time I was like, that doesn't sound right. And I knew that I was right because when they launched this, it's an octa-core, right? So this person made a statement of, well, it only uses 4 of the cores. There is no Android CPU out there right now that only uses 4 cores out of the 8. That you would have absolutely awful performance. Most of them are 6 and 2. 6 for your standard, like most of like the heavy end stuff, and then 2 for the OS. Those cores are like dedicated to the operating system. And that's what this one is. It's got 2 that's at the higher gigahertz, which is what you normally see with these Android based, is it the ARM is what they call them?
Yeah, the ARM base. Yep.
They usually go off of the 2, and then the 6 are dedicated to like your gaming performance, your application performance. So I just wanted to clear that up, that this isn't the best chip. It's from 2019. It's not the best out there, but for what it does and what it's able to do. I mean, it ran, Ashes was playing Diablo Immortal, which is not a non-intensive heavy game. It's a pretty heavy game on the graphics and performance, and it ran it just fine. So I think it's more of, that's why they've optimized it the way that they have. If you're in the gaming mode, it closes everything else out except the game that you're in. And if it does that, this CPU will do just fine. It can perform.
Chase, I thought you was doing a review for the Pixel Watch because that's what people were saying about the Pixel Watch.
Oh, really?
Why are they using this old? They're using the old Linux processor from the Samsung
Yeah.
Galaxy 3, and they're like, why did Google use that? And Google's like, well, we optimized it and we added another chip, a co-processor to it, and so it runs perfectly fine for what it's intended to do.
I think sometimes people see specs and I to be fair, I do the same thing. You look at it and you immediately go underpowered, it's going to underperform. And in a lot of cases, to be fair to what Maker was saying, I think that is normally true. Like you're normally going to see that it's not going to perform well. I think this might be one of those unique cases where they've optimized it in a way that the device actually performs. Now, does it have long-term success? Like as we start getting further and further along, that's a different conversation. And I think that's a fair conversation to have.
That's what I'm more talking about. I think like when the Razer device comes out, which device are people going to choose? Like, because they're not going to have the hands-on. They're not going to see this gaming mode that you're talking about.
Well, unless it's in Best Buy.
Unless it's in Best Buy, and they do kind of hands-on marketing with it.
And I think it will be. By the way, I think it will. I think
Razer will be in Verizon.
If the G Cloud does really well, I would not be surprised to see a 5G model come at either next year or the year
or
after.
A Pro. Could you imagine? Like, I was literally just sitting there last night, like
with back
120 hertz with a better processor, a 7,000 milliamp battery. Oh my God, sign me up.
I don't know if 5G that soon, because they'd have to work with the actual telecom companies.
AT&T, give them a call.
Do they really though?
The year after, yeah, they do.
I got
AT&T. Is every 5G device locked into one telecom supplier? Because the way I see it, you can put a 5G chip in, and if you wanted to, if you want to be able to sell it around the world, it's a standard.
Right. When it comes to Verizon, it's different because they have the millimeter wave or whatever.
It's the United States.
There's different ways that they actually transmit, the data and stuff like that.
Right.
We'll simplify it for everybody else. In the United States, we're different than everywhere else.
Yes.
We're third world.
We don't have a telecommunication standard for technology?
No.
Well, we do with Verizon, and then we have a separate one for T-Mobile, and then a separate one for AT&T.
Yeah. So because when I was a cell phone tech, because what was it, AT&T and T-Mobile used the same frequency.
GSM.
Sprint was different, and then Verizon was different.
They built from the ground up.
CMDA. So Sprint was using CMDA, Verizon was using CMDA, AT&T, T-Mobile was using GSM, and then
Verizon shifted all the to like a hybrid. It was like a mix between AT&T and what Sprint.
Yeah, they was using GSM and CMDA, and then now they're just using. Everybody in America is just using GSM. But Verizon is using a different 5G, which is the millimeter wave. So if you actually go and try to buy a phone like the Pixel 7 on their website, it's the higher. Like if you go check, the Pixel 7 is higher for Verizon just for the 5G wave that they use versus on T-Mobile and AT&T. It's $100 more.
I could see a version of G Cloud.
Anything that has 5G, if it's using the cell phone carrier's tech 5G, it's going to be locked to that particular company. I can guarantee you.
That is ridiculous.
Welcome to the United States.
I think the only one that really kind of went out to like a bunch of companies was like the iPads. When those started getting like the cellular support,
they're still locked to unless you get it directly from Apple.
They're locked to.
You can buy them unlocked.
You can buy them. You can buy them with Verizon, with AT&T, with these different. Like I'm saying, in multiple telecom companies and not just one. But I could see a G Cloud version come out within the next year with a 5G support with a specific telecom company, just for widespread support. Like either the device has to be extremely successful and take off insanely to the point where they want to be a part of it, or or it's just going to take a lot of coordination with Logitech with these telecom companies.
I'm just learning something right now that 5G isn't.
It's not like a straight standard. No.
Right.
Sorry,
So
we're
you're
going
taking
to
it.
that. It's
You're taking a phone from one company that has 5G and switching the SIM card. The
Depending on
SIM
the
card to go to.
device.
Right.
Well,
It
some of the
depends on the
companies,
device. Some can, some won't be able to swap over.
some
Right,
companies
some won't.
now are moving to eSIM, which is where
Apple.
you can't. Well, no, but I'm like in all serious. Like this is actually kind of scary in a way because it basically locks the phone down. Even if you unlock it all the way, you cannot move it to another carrier. There's
So
no
it's
way
going
to do it.
backwards.
Yes.
Right. They're trying
that's
to
the US for you.
Right, they're trying to, and so that's what we're saying. Dot like when we talk about cloud gaming and internet and like where we see the cloud going in 5-10 years, America's internet is so
It's what
everywhere, all over the place.
I want to
it's
take
like-
the old
Okay,
copper
okay.
line.
We're gonna make a G Cloud with a Starlink chip so that it works worldwide.
Look, I joke about this, but I have said this that, and usually it's on my streams, but I've said we're like a third world country when it comes to internet and cell phone technology, things like that. Compared
It's a
to
thing of
everyone else.
control.
We can't. Yeah, well, that the government controls that. We don't get any say.
Well, that's what happens when you only have 2 internet providers per area. There's no competition.
Yeah.
They can get
Right.
away with basically doing anything they want to do. I mean, it's like, Doctor, it's so bad here. I was getting ready to make this point. They want to take the old existing copper lines, and there's like a pretty cool technology that's out there. I just don't trust that it's actually going to work as efficiently as they're promising it is. But they're going to be able to increase the frequency with these old copper lines to get like 500 down to up to like 800 down, which is like insane. Like that's not like current technology can't do that, but there's some kind of like special frequency that they can use to do this. I just don't trust it. I think the latency is going to be horrible. Like they don't want to go and upgrade the infrastructure. They want to continue. Like this is the same thing with any company like right now across the board in the US. They want to use cost cutting. They want to use existing infrastructure and charge you, if not the same price, but potentially more for the existing infrastructure rather than actually upgrade it. So yeah, it's going to be a long time, at least from the United States standpoint, before we ever get to a point where there's like consistent fiber internet everywhere. That's not happening anytime soon.
Because that was the point of 5G when they were deploying it at first. It was to have that network that covers everyone and that you can have unlimited internet. And that's what it was supposed to be. It's like, oh, it's high speed, low resource internet. They'll be able to provide unlimited internet. And now that it's in the hand of telecommunication, the companies, they're not doing that. They're trying to fill their pockets even more.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah. Agreed.
USA.
I mean, to be fair to T-Mobile and Verizon, they have home internet that doesn't have data caps. But again, like
that should be like that everywhere for everyone.
No, 100%. But in time, what you're probably and this is what scares me about all this stuff is not what we were talking about with the devices, but just in general with the internet is once everyone starts moving in that direction and there's an adoption rate, then they're going to go, okay, now how can we charge more on top of what we're already charging and make you pay more, or limit what you get and make you pay more? That'll be the next thing that happens. So there's no winning in these scenarios right now unless there's broad competition where it forces each of them to say, you know what, we can't get away with doing that anymore because a company is literally offering unlimited internet. And unless we do that, we will go out of business. So, it's just...
Well, they got rid of unlimited internet for ages. T-Mobile forced everybody, everybody to bring back their unlimited plans, which we all know is not really the case because they still cap you shit. Anyways.
Yeah, they throttle after a certain amount. I think just about every mobile company does that.
25 to 40 gigs once you hit that with any of them.
Yep, I do that on a monthly basis. I'm surprised AT&T hasn't harassed me yet.
Right.
But anyways, buy at your own risk. Y'all do whatever y'all want to do. I told you.
Yeah, I just think there's different.
And thank you, Chase. You actually kind of make me change my mind on certain stuff. So
he's still gonna buy it.
So
Thank you,
just
Stadia.
wanted to talk about this article.
I
So
was waiting.
Microsoft downplays cloud gaming as immature technology in Activision buyout defense.
I cannot believe this.
This
There were two.
is
There's two
interesting.
articles I came up with that both tied. They were two different sites with the same information, basically, but pretty much tying it in with the whole Activision thing.
It is so like I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it. It is so pathetic to watch both of these companies act like they are weak. They are not. Neither one of them. Sony isn't weak, and Microsoft isn't weak, and they're both playing the game. Like they're both trying to like
This is like
convince the
Yeah.
CMA that
Yeah, that's effectively what it's boiled down to.
it's a school.
And
They're on the
I've
they're on the
seen-
playground arguing.
I've
Yeah,
seen
I'm over-
arguments
I'm over
from
it already.
people that actually
Over
piqued
it.
my curiosity of, and I actually think there's value to those, saying that both Microsoft and Sony are holding back their cloud tech because of what's happening right now. That Microsoft is taking their time to resolve their issues with xCloud, why it still looks like that, and they're still treating it as a side service and not the future of their platform. And while Sony, for me, Sony, the streaming, and a lot of people still take it lightly. Right now, for me, PlayStation Plus is very close in terms of quality to GeForce Now. And I'm not bullshitting. I play PlayStation Plus. It looks perfect. It looks amazing.
I
Nothing
played
else.
last night. I second that. I played. I was like, holy it. What did they do? It looks great.
I'm not shitting. It plays better than Stadia did. It plays better than everything else I tried. There's xCloud is making its way. PlayStation Now, PlayStation Plus looks fantastic, and there's the crown jewel, which is GeForce Now.
Yeah.
So Sony has
they're all
the tech
getting better.
right, but they're not releasing on mobile. They're not releasing on smart TVs. And I think what's going on with Activision Blizzard
Just
and a
give us
few
some
other things
D&D
around
games,
is part of that. They want to wait until.
Isn't competition
PlayStation Plus
great?
is not on Azure. It's not running on Azure cloud technology.
They have
give
their
us
own
some
tech.
D&D.
Azure, I think, is still used for distribution, but that could change without us even knowing. But Azure is not hosting; it's distributing. PlayStation have their own streaming technology.
Yep.
So
Same with
it's-
Microsoft, by the way, too. They're both in the data centers. They're just not leveraging the Azure blades.
Yeah, they're not utilizing specific Azure software that they might use on their rigs, and I think that's why xCloud suffers as it does, because they're trying to effectively take the Xbox form factor and shift it in their software and turn it to cloud. And I think that's the challenge.
They made an interesting improvement, and not to take away from the Sony side of it, because I think Doctor. I've seen a couple people play Doctor, and I've seen the same thing that Sony has made a drastic leap here over the past 5 months, which is crazy. Like the game, I keep saying the game streaming beta, the cloud gaming beta for Microsoft back in June, it was like horrible. Like I can't even begin to stress to you how bad it was, to the point where I wasn't going to touch it. And then in September, this past month, I logged in for the first time. Doctor logged in, I think maybe a couple days after I did, playing Grounded, but I was like, what did they change? Because there was, a drastic improvement to the point where I could play through Halo. You'd still get like the screen wipe thing happen between rounds and like respawns, but not in the middle of the rounds like it happened before. Mm-hmm. And they're doing this new thing. I sent a couple people the video, but it's called direct capture, which it basically removes the connection between the encoder and the console or the blade, and it takes the direct feed from the stream directly to you to reduce the latency by it's like anywhere between 40 to 50 milliseconds of latency reduction.
Oh, you don't have any latency anymore. It's really direct.
No, it almost feels as I'm not going to say it feels as good as the GFN 3080 because I've had the chance to experience that, but it's close. It's pretty good. So they just need to get that picture quality and the consistency of.
They need the bit rate up.
Yes, yeah. It just needs that consistency. Once they get there, that device or that service is going to be right up there with everybody else. And that's the thing, like the competition is so good right now. Like, please just keep pushing forward. All these companies, like that's how we get the best out of everybody. PlayStation's doing better. Microsoft's doing better. GFN is continuing to iterate and add new stuff. Like, this is all good stuff. This is good things for the long term. Please continue to do that.
I do want to complain about PlayStation for a bit. I still think that they're not supporting cloud near enough. Like I would say, tech wise, yes, yeah, they have the superior technology, and they've had the superior technology to xCloud for a while. But in terms of like software support, like the app is terrible. The no mobile support. It took over a month before like the July games came to the PC app. It's honestly unacceptable from like a support standpoint.
From a
Like,
UI software standpoint, they got some ways to go. Even with the storage, like just my game saves should be working.
The save method is horrible.
The save method is crazy. Some games are still not on the PC app of it. Like they still got a ways to go. But when we talking about just streaming quality, just the quality of just streaming quality.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
Yeah. The thing about the UI, and I've said that many times, I think the reason why we're not seeing the changes and why the DualSense still isn't supported, like I have to use another app to use it. It works well, but I had to do some workaround to get my DualSense to work wireless with a PlayStation Plus. But I think the reason is they're about to literally shut down that app and release a brand new build that will have nothing to do with that app, which will include the DualSense connectivity, will most likely include your full PlayStation profile with your trophies, your friend list outside of the games, all of those features, something more akin to the Xbox app. I think that is the direction they're going. They want to release a new app that's totally a new experience that will probably leverage those service games that they're working on right now. Those are still coming in a while. They probably have some that are coming soon. But I think PlayStation has their eye on the game for cloud gaming. They want to wait for the right time to unveil their full play, and that's where we're going to see mobile gaming and all of this. But they're still working on stuff, and they want to make sure they have a fully ready package to deliver. But also, like we mentioned earlier, that Microsoft seems to be holding back because of the Activision Blizzard acquisition. I would not be surprised if Sony was planning to release the mobile support of cloud this summer or towards the end of the summer and decided to hold back to put more ammunition in their camp to try to block that acquisition. Like Xbox might be holding back on some improvements on xCloud just to not look like they're being the bully in terms of cloud gaming. Both of those companies are looking at acquisition right now as being a vital part of what's coming down for the next few years. It's a big acquisition. It can change a lot. And if they can do anything at all to modify the perspective of those government bodies out there that are looking at that and saying, yes, we approve, or no, we don't approve, they're going to try to like pull every dirty move possible, and they're going to even hold back their own tech if it means looking weaker, which is what they're trying to do right now. They're both selling themselves as weaker than they really are so that they can get the support of those government bodies. So
I would say yes and no. Like I feel like I think the reason why it's so slow, especially with like Xbox and PlayStation, is because cloud just isn't super popular right now. It will maybe in the long term, but just right now.
What did I miss?
No.
What did you do?
That is. Oh man, you can't make this stuff up.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that
God.
earlier.
Bro, what? That guy is so fired. Come on, man. Like that.
Oh yeah.
That's gotta be That's got to be some Photoshop, man. Tell me
Yeah.
that did not happen.
Yeah, it happened, and they removed it and they replaced it. And so that guy's probably whoever posted that got fired.
Like,
That was
but
you know
yeah.
who it was from? It was from Phil. Phil tweeted
Yeah.
that one out.
God damn.
While shopping for a new
Well,
job.
you would think if you're part of like their like PR team, right, that you have like a work phone that you send tweets from that is not an iPhone.
But the problem
I know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
he's
say
done.
like
Whoever that is, he done.
when Stadia was first like teased and they were talking about it, because my brother actually knew someone working at Google and who had access to Stadia before it came out, and he played it on an iPhone. His friend showed it like to my brother and made him play on it on an iPhone, and that's a phone he had from the company. So,
But yeah, it's no secret that Googlers, I think they made them use Apple products to test it against their products. Like, it's no secret, like they use Apple products there.
I'm
Just to test
sorry.
stuff
If I'm
out.
the CEO, who's that guy? Bring that guy into my office now. Bring him in
no
my
product
office.
good
now.
enough
You
for you.
can't. Hey,
Bring
Ray,
his
Ray,
ass
don't
in
you
my
like my product?
office
you can't
now.
you can't
Bring that
him in there.
ass here.
Man, you really want that ass?
Lock the door behind you and sit your ass
Smack
in
it.
this chair. Do you see the logo behind me? What does that say? Google. Okay. What the hell, man? Are you stupid? Are you
It's Google.
are you
Can
stupid?
And
you
they're
imagine?
that
Can
they
you
don't
imagine
have.
how that phone call went though, where they called this person? They're like, whatever the person's name is, you know,
So
hello.
when my
did you review your tweet?
Shorts right now?
I went, I had a buddy that worked at Coca-Cola, and I went to go see him, and I had a Pepsi in my hand, and I was walking, and he snatched the can out of my hand, and threw it across the street. He says, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What's that?" He's like, "Pepsi on Coca-Cola? Are you stupid? You trying to get me fired?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, okay, I'm sorry." It's like, come on, man.
I
Yeah,
just
get the
wanted
Coke,
to come
man. He
back
knows what's better
on.
for you, Ray. Coke is the superior product anyway.
That's a lie. That is an absolute
wanted to
lie.
come-
What, boy? Don't you
Coke
go
is
there?
the superior
Don't
product.
you go? Don't you go there?
Don't
Don't go
start.
there. Don't you go there? Don't you go there?
There's many reasons why Pepsi is better, and we don't want to go down this pathway.
Ooh.
They're both different. They both have their use case. Pepsi is good on its own, but with rum, you need Coke.
That's debatable. By the way, there's also Mountain Dew. There's many reasons why Pepsi is a better and superior brand.
Right.
I'm
Right.
kidding. I'm kidding, everybody.
Right, baby.
No, you're not.
What about Coke floats?
Did you say no? I'm not.
Vet, I'm mellow yellow. They still drink mellow yellow.
Just to come back on what Ludiverse put here. Both companies may put their full console experience in the cloud. Xbox currently is adding messaging, etc. That I think within maximum 3 years, that's going to be out. PlayStation and Xbox, whether you have a console or you play in the cloud, 100% you're going to have the full experience. Reason why, if you look at the mobile app for both Xbox and PlayStation, you already have most of the console experience already in there. You cannot play the games on those apps yet, but that will most likely come. PlayStation 5 and a PlayStation mobile app, you compare the two, and I think playing the game is the only thing you can do in the app that you can do on a console. Xbox is also pretty close to that.
This is what's interesting about this whole space. And Vet's not Vet, I know you don't like to talk about the N word, Nintendo, but
What?
Oh,
I got
bro.
Okay.
KD, you scared the hell out of me. I was about to get off this. I was about to
I heard
hit
the
the
same
lead.
thing.
Like,
I almost hit the
don't
lead button. I almost hit the lead button.
You know, look, just because I'm from the South doesn't mean anything. Why are we picking on the Southern boy? What the hell? There's another one over here.
I know you don't want to get banned. I know you don't want to get banned.
Jesus.
Oh
Man, now I'm
man.
gonna have, you know how many haters I'm gonna have in my, well, actually that might bring up my views. So maybe shit, or I'm gonna lose people. They're gonna be boycotting my damn streams.
Oh
Jesus
man.
Christ.
But
Good
Nintendo,
Lord.
right? Everybody was playing the new Plague's Tale, and I was like, oh, I'm chilling. I got the Switch in my hand, and I was like, oh, let me check out, see if they got a Plague Tale. Oh yeah, they got a Plague Tale. Oh, it's Cloud. They're streaming the Plague Tale, both the old one and the new one, through cloud technology on the Switch, and it's just a very interesting it's very interesting how every company, we talk about PlayStation, xCloud, GFN, and then Switch is still doing cloud streaming as well. And it actually ran pretty well. I was actually surprised. That was my first game that I streamed on my Nintendo Switch. So it actually was, I was very surprised with the graphics and the quality of the stream as on Nintendo as well. So it's just,
It's because Nintendo doesn't talk about cloud. That's one of the issues. Is why it's not really. Yes, they're doing their thing, and some of the stuff it's getting better. Because I remember the first game they put on there, and it was horrible. I think it was. I don't remember what it was, to be honest.
Control.
But it's gotten
Or
better
Control,
over time.
yeah.
But because they don't they don't talk about it at all.
It's not just about
we don't
advertising; it's access.
Well, just access, but they don't bring it up. Nobody brings up Nintendo. You don't think Nintendo and cloud together. That's just
so they use Ubitus, which is not. It's not the most.
It's not proprietary. It's
Yeah,
a third party.
It's a third party, and its strength isn't really, to be honest, it's not.
But isn't Ubitus like using AWS and like they're using different
I believe
providers?
it's AWS.
Yeah, they're using Windows containers.
I think it's region based. So in some region they'll get AWS, some other region they'll like the best deal they can get in every area.
You have to remember with those two, and Maker can speak to this because I think we talked about this before. But you have to remember with AWS, there's prioritization. So depending on what kind of contract you have with them, your network, so like their network is congested, like Google's network is congested, all of them are. So depending on what type of contract you have, you get priority, right? Of how much does your traffic move? Does it get priority over this, or does it get priority over this? And from my experience with whenever I've streamed any of their stuff, it just feels like there's either an issue with I'm not close to a data center, which might be why I also have issues with Luna, or it's just not optimized because again, it's not a priority. Like again, Nintendo's not spending the money to make that a priority right now because it isn't one. They don't need to. It's like a supplemental add-on that if you can use it, great, but it's not something that we're focused on. It's kind of like, oh, well, they're doing it. We'll kind of do it too, you know.
It reminds
Which is
me of
interesting.
PlayStation with theirs because they're just like, I guess we'll make some slight modifications, but for the most part, a lot of it's remained somewhat unchanged. It's still using PlayStation 4 unit or PlayStation 4 equivalents. You know, they haven't really modified the app greatly. When they swapped from PlayStation Now to PS Plus, there wasn't any significant change to the app. Just the name changed. You know, it's like doing the bare minimum because.
But with PlayStation, to Doc's point, that's why we see the change of guards. Like the previous PlayStation head of PlayStation, he didn't want to go in that direction of cloud. He was doing everything he can to stop cloud gaming, and so now it's a reverse of that.
JD actually sent me a podcast a while ago that he was the main guest on, and actually openly admitted that he wanted to shut down like PlayStation Now, but couldn't.
President of Sony. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And for him, anything that was not on the PS4 console that was PlayStation needed to be shut down, and he hated the idea of having gaming outside of his console. That's how bad it was.
Right.
Well, so one thing that's interesting though that so the reason I said earlier, since we were still talking about this Microsoft and Sony kind of acting like they're weak, has anyone, I don't know, I haven't experienced it. I'm only going off of like reviews and what I've heard people say, but the Samsung gaming hub, like playing Xbox through it, apparently people are saying that's the best experience because they have the auto low latency mode turned on, so it actually reduces the overall latency with the experience.
SPG has the gaming hub on Samsung.
Okay. What has his experience been with? Because everyone keeps saying that that's the best way to experience the cloud gaming beta.
He says it's great. He says it's awesome.
See, so that's why I don't agree with their statement about. They could have said it better. Like immature is not the way to say it. I think what they should have said is we're still years away from it being a consistent experience, because it gives the wrong impression. It just, to me, when I read that, my immediate reaction is like they're not valuing their investment in that. It comes across as though we're this weak company that has no technology. We can't do cloud gaming well. Why would you think we're trying to? It just came across as very like disingenuous. And I'm not leaving Sony out of this. Sony did some stuff too that I wasn't like thrilled about, that they said some things where I'm like, what are you complaining about Call of Duty for and exclusive content? You've been doing this for a decade. Like, just the arguments just seem so disingenuous from both of them about some of this stuff. I'm just like, what is going on with y'all? Cut it out.
A lot
make
of it
a
is
sound
semantic.
argument.
A lot of them, it's kind of like a play, like they border the line. Like it could be interpreted as, by saying like it's an immature technology that they haven't quite yet got it down, which that's accurate. xCloud isn't there, and they've got a little ways to improve for sure. And as you said before, a consistent experience across the board still isn't there for cloud. And I think that's where they can get away with saying something like that. And PlayStation does the same thing. They try and find ways where they can make it out to be their point compared to the other.
Because go ahead.
I
was gonna say, because ultimately they're
competition.
here for the money.
Hello, you got to do what you got to do, man. It's two businesses trying to get our dollars.
Right, and it's in the court. In the court system, you're just trying to prove, like, you have to like prove the argument. Like, you can't just be like saying anything else. It's like, well, prove to me that your cloud is weak. Prove to me that you're not using Call of Duty as a leverage. It's like, how can you prove this in the court of law? And so they're just finding ways to get around, the law.
Nintendo's sitting in the corner smoking a cigarette, like, yeah, y'all just go do y'all thing. We all right over here.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think just to come back on Ludo's point about the full console experience coming to the cloud, maximum 3 years, in my opinion, in Xbox and PlayStation cases. Having a console or having the cloud with a good, reliable internet, you won't have much of a difference, in my opinion. You'll have the full experience delivered.
For everybody, though? For everybody, though?
Not in the US.
What do you mean by everybody?
Is everybody going to get that maximum experience?
No.
Do you mean by internet quality, or you mean by region?
All the above.
I did mention with reliable enough internet, which is like if you have 50 megabyte per second with low latency and your internet provider is not an asshole, then you should have
a provider in the US.
Good quality stream. It will still be streaming. So if you have darker areas on the screen and like depending on the game, you might have degradation due to compression. Yes, that will go away in a while probably, but we still have those issues even with GFN, but it's really getting better. But in terms of you're playing a game, low latency, great image quality, and you get out of that game, you have access to the store with every single of your games and have access to all of that, like the full console experience. Like you feel like you got a console, but you're just on a smart TV or on your computer or on a tablet or on your phone. That I think is coming within about 3 years. We should have a good grasp of this. and the next generation of console, I believe, the way it will come. You'll have the console in store. That way, if you have crappy internet, you can buy the console, or you turn on your cloud app and everything is updated. You have the latest generation of PlayStation or Xbox. I do believe this is the direction we're headed right now.
I mean, the only thing that could change it slightly, and I think slightly is the right term, would be these new Wi-Fi 6 routers coming out. I gotta sneeze. Hold on.
Good.
Oh man, come on.
No problem. You can do it.
We're good. I thought I had to. Maybe the new Wi-Fi routers with Wi-Fi 6. That might help because it's a different channel and a different band, and it's a little bit stronger as far as like the consistency of like the bit rate and everything from what everyone says. But like, I think to Ray's point, because Ray was saying like, is it going to be for everybody? Unless you're like directly connected like that, like the Samsung TV, you can directly connect with the Ethernet cable. So like, unless you're directly connected to the router, I think there's still going to be a lot of inconsistency, you know? I don't know, man. Cloud is just, it's in a good place right now. And I know that people may disagree with that because Stadia's left, but I think as far as the technology is concerned, it's in a good place. But it's also in a weird place because of how, again, everything is just so inconsistent for every person, depending on where you live, your distance from the data center, your internet provider. There is not one, like, as beautiful as GFN runs, right? And as amazing and the performance, I can't get it to work. No matter what I do, I've port forwarded, I've opened up all the ports, and I'm not knocking GFN. I don't think it's their fault. I just don't think I'm close to the data center. I just can't get it to work. The max I can get is 720p, and that's it. That's as high as I can get it to go.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Luna will not play no matter what I do. I open up a game, and it literally looks like slow-mo is the best way I can describe it to you with the frames.
Chase, are you out in the field with Meg?
Hey, some people live.
I'm actually in a really populated like suburb that should have better internet.
1,000 people in my town. Is that rural enough for you?
Just out of curiosity, have you tried it at some friend's place? Have a decent internet, but are close to you? Is it the same experience?
Oh, wow.
Nope.
Wow.
It runs well,
but they have fiber, and that's the difference. Like gigabit internet, I think makes a big difference because again, it reduces the amount of overall latency because of the ping, and
what's gigabit internet?
I wish I had gigabit.
I don't want to hate on God.
Fiber.
I want to be careful how I say this. I don't want to hate on Spectrum.
I live in a small town.
Or Charter, or whatever you want to call them. I know it's different in different parts of the country, but cable internet is so unreliable, man. It is so unreliable because if there's multiple people that is on like the switch or the hub that you're using, it's horrific. And DSL is even worse. Like copper lines, if you've got like 50 customers on the same line, good luck. We had to upgrade to business internet because that's how bad it was on the residential internet.
Hold on, let's see what's your upload speed.
My upload is garbage, though.
My upload's like
better. I want to know, is it worse than mine?
Oh wow!
What kind of bullshit is that? Oh,
did they upgrade it?
I don't know.
I just get bullshit upload.
Country. That's horseshit. Oh God, I gotta move.
Your upload is like so much higher than download.
Yeah, that doesn't seem right. Something's wrong.
Yeah, something's wrong with that. You need to test that again.
Around.
That was a demo.
I was telling you to use.
I'm gonna try it again.
That was a demo.
Hey, no. You know what's going on? They're trying to charge him more. They're like, increase the upload.
Are they checking out the podcast?
Upload used to be like 50 megabytes.
We gotta look good for the podcast, yo.
Oh damn!
Hold on, let me see what mine is, and I gotta look. All right, everybody, run their.
I get higher upload than download.
That's not right.
That's very odd.
That's odd, man.
That's fantastic. I want that kind of stuff.
Oh, Ludoverse said I don't really have issues with Spectrum. I guess it could be different for everybody, but trust me, where I live, it's Good luck.
And to Chase's point, I'm saying I agree with Chase. Chase made a very good point. It just depends on your use case scenario, what you're using it for. It depends on your internet provider, whether they got the data centers near you, by you, whatever that you can. It's just a lot of stuff. Yeah, just a lot of stuff affects cloud gaming. Here, specifically in the US, in the United States, it's affected a lot. But it is, to Chase's point, it's in a good place. It's in a good place because every company is leveraging tech, whether it's Amazon watching Thursday Night Football through Amazon Prime, using YouTube TV, using xCloud, GFN. Everybody is using cloud to some capacity for their business or are moving to the cloud for their business. So we will see an increase of just cloud usage around the board. I think for gaming will continue to be this weird little experiment it is just going to be based on the person. It's really just going to come down based on the person and their needs when it comes to cloud and what works for them.
Ray, because you upgraded, who's your internet provider?
I have AT&T fiber.
Oh, I thought you had Facebook.
I've got Comcast.
Oh, you have fiber too. It's Comcast.
I will say in the very beginning, it sucked. Playing cloud, it sucked, and I had to upgrade.
My internet company where I live told me that they're up plans to upgrade to fiber, but it'll be in like 15 to 20 years. And I was like, well, that's fucking stupid. So I get like 900 down and 60 up, 60 megabytes up, which is fucking terrible for upload speeds.
Google Stadia lasted more than Google Fiber.
Man, shut up, man.
What's that? What do you say, JD?
Google Stadia lasted longer than Google Fiber.
Oh God.
No, well, hold on. Well, Google Fiber is still it's still in cities.
It came back. Yeah, well,
yeah, it was Louisville, Kentucky's the one where they actually completely got rid of the project because they were running the lines next to the curb on the streets. They were cutting down into the road and then running the line and then paving over it, and then the asphalt kept coming up, and then somebody I think they said it was somebody ran over a line or a car. It got caught up into a tire, and the what do you call that? The drivetrain of the car, and everybody's internet got cut. So I mean,
the line was coming up.
So think of if you're outside and you're looking at your street, you have the curb where the water runs. In that little area there, they were doing a 3-inch cut down, running the line and then repaving it. But the asphalt kept coming up because they weren't using
they were doing a 3-inch cut.
Yeah. That's because the thing is they don't. You got to remember with the telephone poles here in the U.S., you have to have agreements with the power companies and the existing internet companies in the area because they have exclusive access to those lines. So they couldn't run the lines up on the telephone pole. Yeah, so the only other option is you got to run it somewhere.
Yeah, but normally if you do that, you cut up a decent chunk of asphalt, you put a PVC tube that's pretty large, you run the cable through it, so it's protected from the environment.
See, you're thinking about it the correct way. That's not how they went about it.
You're running fiber for a city.
But this is Google, so you should automatically know that the correct way will never happen.
It's got to be the cost-effective way.
Especially if you come in Canada where it freezes and warms up and freezes and warms up.
I know it sounds crazy. Right now, somebody go look it up. Look up what I'm talking about. You'll see what I'm talking about.
No, I remember it was in the news.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it was in the news. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a joke. When you see The Onion and stuff, I thought it was legitimately a joke. that they did that. And then when I saw that they were running lines next to the curb, I was like, who approved this? Like,
And
what?
it's one thing to read it, but when you're starting to see the photos that go along with it,
You know what? I'm about to search that. I'm about to fact check that right now.
Look it up.
I'm gonna fact check.
telling you,
Ray's gonna pull it up and he's gonna go, "Oh my god! Thank
Phil
God I got AT&T fiber."
Oh man.
I am, but in all seriousness, Ray, I'm jealous because I wish we had AT&T out here. I wish we had not Xfinity. There's another one that does fiber now. Oh, I can't think of it right now. Is it Verizon Fios? Yeah, that's it. They do fiber.
Fios.
Yeah, like I just would take like any company right now that doesn't charge like over $100 for fiber. Sign me up. Like I would be 100% in, but it's just they're never going to put the infrastructure in where I live because it's easier for them to keep charging the same price or more with what is already there because there's no competition.
Don't get me started.
There it is.
It's on the bird. Yeah, there it is.
I told you.
Freaking stupid.
Hey,
I don't believe it.
Yes.
It's real. It's real.
Yeah, get out of here.
Oh yeah,
Come
here
on,
you go.
man.
Here you go.
It's real. That's it.
Look, you know that property owners were pissed.
Let me
Their
tell you.
property values
What
were already
kind of backwater company does that?
Check
Hey,
the,
No. You click on that link right
click
there.
on the link. No.
Click on that link right
on
there.
my
And
link.
look,
Click on my
this
link.
is the service you're getting right there.
Click on my
Let me
link.
see.
Doc.
Let me look at JD's. I don't trust Ray's fake news.
So you know how the one of them happened because of the car, the other one happened because they were doing repaving, and you know when the machine comes in that eats up the asphalt, like it dug all the lines up, all of them.
$4 million worth of damage.
Yeah, it's not a
God
joke.
damn.
I wish. Listen, I wish it was a joke, and I thought it was too when I first saw it. I was like, there is no way this is real. No way that this
Metro
is
Public Works say its crew had to tear up fiber lines 5 times this year, and that Google Fiber's team is then asked to respond quickly to cut deeper trenches and replace the fiber 5 times so as to allow the paving jobs to be
I
completed.
told you, I'm not making this up. Like,
Okay, I don't think I will ever believe
Click on
in
this
Google
link.
as a company ever.
Click on the link. Click on my link.
did you send us one, Ray?
That was your link. No, click on my link.
No, I didn't click the Verge. The one that fibergoogle.com.
You want us to believe a Google website?
Google
That
will
ain't
pay
me.
you-
That's not me.
Yeah, but JD posted his first. We'll do yours after. Google
I don't
pay
believe-
Louisville,
Louisville
Kentucky.
millions to fix roads after failed
Hey,
fiber
You got
experiment.
family down there.
Oh, so we know
Damn it,
where
Vet.
the money for Stadia went.
Vet's relatives are trying to dig and get some money.
That's
Sell some
Hey,
sell
is
some fiber
Is
lines.
this the
that's
Louisville
trying
that's
to
the
Kentucky
get
one?
Stadia pavement there.
So this
man,
is
we're
this
trying to get our
this is the
KFC
That's
restaurants
what
opened
they
up.
meant when they said they wanted to pave the way to cloud gaming.
Oh damn. This shit cracks up my head.
Damn,
So, you gonna get
I
look.
bet you Phil was.
They're
I
gonna
bet
Hey,
see
you
look,
Phil was
this.
running
You're
that company.
That's
too.
their
Look, Google's going to end up paying everybody. Everybody's going to get paid from Google's mistakes. Like they're just going to issue refunds and settlement
Shit,
checks.
everybody in Louisville was like, you know where all that money went. You had a lot of
what's
people when they
what's
got
the other
paid for
link?
going to
Is that the
KFC.
official website, Ray?
Look, yes, your internet
I don't
from a
believe
company
that.
that believes in everyone deserves faster,
What?
reliable, fairly priced
time out.
internet.
Right, I got to.
Look at this. Look at
You got a dog on the Zumba.
Hey, I got a question for you though.
On
So
the
hold
Zumba.
on, I got a serious
What is
question
and
for
if
you.
you
Is
go
this the
down,
actual-
hey,
Wait, is
and
this
if
no? Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. Is this the actual site? This isn't
Yes,
a joke,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
yes.
Oh wait,
hey, look
With
at
a
that.
Steam
Look,
controller.
it's Stadia.
yeah. See, I don't believe that site for a minute. Now, I have a
Fake
serious
news.
question though.
That's the Google's what's that? The DeepMind program, whatever that is.
Whatever.
I got a legitimate
look-
question for you, Ray. So
and-
I'm supposed to the company that said Stadia wasn't going anywhere, then said, "Oh, we're killing it." I'm supposed to have faith in their internet
they got
service.
fiber. Look, Atlanta, Georgia, they got it. You can get you some Google Fiber, Maker. They got
No,
it.
look, he
No,
had to leave
so but it's not the
I live
same. It's
in
like a
Augusta.
website. It's a web app. Because when I was out in Seattle and in California, they had the same thing. It was like Google Fiber is here, but it was
Dude,
weird. It was like a high. It was
The
like a
website is
hotspot.
glitching.
It's like a hotspot for Google Fiber, bro.
It's because it's Google.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
but
they have
hold
they
on,
have
that
like
cat.
they
Wait a
have
minute,
like
the
Wi-Fi
cat touched
points.
me.
Yeah.
The cat that touched me right. Oh, why
You mean the
keep moving?
Stadia?
Keep moving.
They're
Come on,
using the
man.
deep.
Even
They're
that
using the
game?
deep mind. They're using the
I
deep
don't
mind.
remember
project.
that game. What game is that?
They're
What-
using the
what
deep
is
mind. This Google Deep Mind at work, man.
Now look
Bro,
at
that was the game that was
That's a
supposed to.
Google
That was the new
DeepMind.
racing game. That was
It's
the new
messing
Need
with
for
Ray.
Speed.
It's messing
Hey,
with
that was
Ray. Right now. It's messing with him right now.
Wait, you know what? I actually wanted. That was the new Need for Speed game that was supposed to come to Stadia.
Like in all seriousness, though,
Oh.
I know that there's like jokes to be made with like that site, but
Oh,
I cannot
gosh.
believe that's an actual like. The more and more you go to like Google product homepages, like I've started to realize this, and this is coming from someone that's a Google adopter, right? I should know better. But the more and more you go to their product pages, minus like the Pixel phone and like the Pixel Watch, they do not understand marketing. I mean, it is so
No.
apparent.
No, they don't.
First of all, I need to call that guy up right now.
There.
Excuse me, is that a video game that we actually got on Stadia? No. Why would you put a game that's not on Stadia to demonstrate? Oh my god!
But what's even crazier is why is that still on there with the fact that they know that the service is winding down? Like, it's just, oh man, there's so many issues with what.
Yeah.
I can't take Google seriously anymore. Thank God I'm an Apple person. I ain't got to worry about that. I know what to expect from Apple. Shit.
Oh,
I mean, I guess I know what to expect from Google at this point, and it's a barrel of laughs.
No, that was, I mean, Ray ain't kidding. That was painful, that website.
Yeah.
I still can't. Oh shit.
I've seen some crazy situations with marketing, but man, that's, I don't know. I don't know what they think they're doing or who they think that appeals to,
Hey,
but
you know
man,
what? I'm gonna tell you something. They could have paid me. I could have did a better job photoshopping that damn controller on that picture. I could have did the outlining better. They didn't even Photoshop that damn controller.
Was that Asphalt? Didn't that look like? I thought that's what that game was. Was that what that was? The mobile game?
I think so.
Possibly.
It probably was.
It was probably
Because it did look like a mobile
Stadia-
game.
It looked
They
like
put
a mobile
Stadia
game.
controller in front of an Android game.
I mean, there's no communication between any of the departments.
They was
We
just
need
saying,
a video
look,
game,
they was
and
just
we
saying,
need a
they was just
controller we're
saying you
allowed to
could
put
play-
on there. We're Google.
It was for
Wait,
the
Ray,
Google
what did
TV.
you
It
just
was
say?
for the Google TV. It was
Uh-huh.
for Chromecast with
What
Google
did-
TV.
What did
with
Vet just
the-
say?
You could use your
we-
Bluetooth controller, Stadia controller, to play mobile games. That's what they was trying to say.
It's like we need footage of a video game, and we need a controller we have the rights
No,
to.
it
And
says
we're at Google.
win more with less lag when you game with gigabit internet.
Right. You can play your Android games on your Chromecast, Google TV with your Stadia controller. That's what they wasn't
Right,
promoting
right.
Stadia.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm sure they weren't, but
It's just
Let me ask
further-
you, why is the controller? Tell me. Wait a minute. Why is the
Right,
controller
right.
so damn
I said-
small? Like, what?
hey,
Like,
size
Because
doesn't
they
matter.
didn't want you to know it actually was Stadia.
why?
Too much
is
bad
the-
press.
Why is the controller so
Right.
damn tiny on the screen?
But why?
Right,
But
right, go
my
look at your
problem
Twitter
is,
DM
why
real
does it-
quick. I sent you something.
Why does their logo looks like Microsoft Windows?
Oh damn! Why you? Oh,
Why does their logo
you
look like
do that?
Microsoft Windows?
Oh damn!
It's just further proof though that none of
sorry,
the
I couldn't
divisions
resist.
within Google know how to market, and they don't talk to each other. Like
you missed the highlight. Fastest internet provider in the country, named 2022's fastest internet provider by highspeedinternet.com.
Where though? And you got to look at the fine print that says, "Oh, only in select cities, and only in major cities that we don't f up the roads or any other thing." Just take our word for it. Don't even look at the website. Just take our word for it. We're legit.
Based on data collected during Q1 and Q2 2021 for Google Fiber by ACSI.
claim. There's the problem with that statement.
Yep, told you.
I
Oh no, they didn't. No, they didn't. Oh come on. No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
That's what
No,
they
they
look like
okay.
a Microsoft.
Hold
look
on,
like a Windows logo.
hold on.
They stole that, and if you look at the Microsoft logo here, they ran away from that.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. They got the. Hold on, I got to screenshot this.
Wait. Can you bring up the Microsoft logo real quick? I just want to see something.
Yes.
Please,
That's
just for
what
a second.
saying, bro. Like,
Why?
JD, go
Because
look on
if it's
Twitter real
literally
quick.
the same thing,
Let
how
me
is
go
it
see
no
this
one?
stuff.
How is it no one from the copyright
Oh my gosh.
team at
Okay,
Microsoft not
hold on.
making an
Hey,
issue out of that?
hold on. I wanted to show. I wanted to show you
You
something.
got it.
They got
Compare
be
the
ready
two.
for what's. They got
What?
be ready
Okay,
for
well,
what's
to be-
next with
Oh my
Wi-Fi
gosh.
6, and they have a Stadia
Swap the blue and the
controller
red.
in
They
the
swapped
middle.
it- Yeah. So if it was the exact same layout, I'd be like, man, Microsoft. I don't know why y'all haven't
It's
filed a
a
lawsuit.
very similar layout. It's like, can I copy your homework? Sure, but change some stuff.
They're just not even trying anymore, are they?
Yo.
God, man, I remember the days when they at least would put effort in to make shit look different. Damn.
Hey, Dino.
Hey, Dino,
What
what's
job?
up?
Bye, hello, guys. Had a bachelorette party. Ooh. Much
Nice.
love and support.
Hey,
Yeah, maybe next
Hey,
week.
this
Thank
party
you,
here
Steve.
is way better at this point. I
But-
love how we
wow.
start off with newsworthy stuff
Hold
and
on,
then it just tailspins.
Doc.
Yep.
Hold on, Doc. I'm sending you something, and then
Hey,
I'm done sending you shit.
In the Twitter doc and Twitter, there's a group that we're all a part of. I shared an image if you want it. That's Ray's Team Pixel right there. That's the mascot. I mean the rep for Team Pixel.
Oh my
I was gonna Photoshop it with face, or just put a big old Stadia controller there. That's what he's reached the guy's hand. If you see what I'm talking about, you'll understand why his hand's open.
Yeah,
It's looking for
that's
that
what he
missing
sent
Stadia
me right
controller.
now. Hold on.
Be ready for what's next with Wi-Fi 6.
With the Stadia,
Stadia?
controller, baby.
God damn it!
What?
Yeah. Look, it's Stadia 2.0 right there. I can't. This is, Jesus.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Google, you are the biggest bunch of.
That is
Google's out
up
of
right.
control.
That is up right now, folks.
Wait a minute.
All
sorry.
your
I just came back. This is live right now.
all your
yes,
family
this is live.
wireless devices.
Okay. Listen.
Really?
Listen. Hold on.
Really?
Listen. Google.
Really?
Google. Hold on.
Yes.
Can we take this away for just 1 second? Just 1 second.
Team Iowa.
Google.
Team Apple.
Google. We need to have a heart to heart for a minute.
Yes.
Let me mute myself.
Listen. Y'all got to do better. Y'all got to do better.
I love your stuff, Google. I love your
Y'all
Pixel.
got to do better, man.
I love your Pixel Buds Pro.
Y'all got to do better.
You just got to do better, man.
Team Apple, baby.
That's not good, man.
You just got to do.
That's why you don't have these problems.
I live Google. I'm about 25 miles
goodness,
from the
man.
campus.
Oh my
What
God.
a mess.
Call me.
Holy
But
shit!
you know what that is? That's it. Again, to what I was saying earlier about that the divisions don't talk to each other. That's where they designed all of that, and then Stadia closes, and
Total
then they did.
detachment.
they didn't get the memo that Stadia is closed. So it's like I don't understand. So again, this is why I'm saying Google, you need to do better. If y'all want to be a consumer facing brand, I'm not talking about enterprise, consumer facing brand, y'all got to do better. That is not gonna do better. That's not gonna work.
You got to do better, man.
Man,
you got to do better.
Ray, you need to walk down to that campus and be like, hey, listen, y'all need to do better.
You need to slap.
Y'all need to do better marketing. You just got
I feel, you know what? I feel bad though. Like, because you said, does your friend still work there right now, Ray?
Yeah, I got somebody there.
You got somebody there. Okay. I feel bad for the everyday people, right? That's not the people that are like in leadership making decisions. And I don't mean that towards them. So I hope nobody takes it that way. But man, like the leadership at Google, they gotta start figuring out how to do PR and marketing, because this is not how you do it, man. I don't know what else to say. Like that's not how you do it. It's not. Like I don't know. Again, I don't know what else to say. You don't do it this way. You don't.
By the way, for anyone in the public, we try really, really hard to not turn this show in a Google bashing show, but
I didn't bring it up this time.
Look, it's not. Maker's been silent. It's not our fault that Google gives us the information. Blame the internet.
We're playing with what we have, and we can't unsee a lot of stuff.
No, I can't unsee that video. I want to know the video game now. Ray, go find out. Oh, Jesus.
Well, to be fair, they don't have to take it down until January 2023. That's the official closing date. Oh, no. Stadia is already closed. Right now, it's a courtesy period. You have to finish your games.
Yeah, you can't even
they should start taking down services.
It's only a matter of time
to be there no longer.
It's only a matter of time before Phil says flip that Google higher up, say flip the switch off. We're not waiting this long.
Well, hold on, because I saw what Torres said, but that's not necessarily that. I get what he's saying, but the store's not active. You can't buy games, so you shouldn't be promoting it, even if it's alive until.
Thank you.
You shouldn't
be took it down as a DM, as a district manager. If there was a product that we wasn't like, why is that up? When we don't have that no more, you need to take that down. Why is this out here? You
promote the products that are available.
Stadia is already shut down. The moment the memo went out, it was not an announcement of the future shutdown. It was shutting down that very minute. What they're extending is a courtesy period to play your games.
Correct, right.
JD, click my link I shared, and then go down to gaming.
Oh my gosh.
Go down to gaming.
Learn more.
We do.
Oh, I just learned that it's closed.
I know, but still, why the hell you even have that there in the first place?
Yeah.
Go down to gaming?
No, you got to go to subscriptions all the way at the top. You should have something somewhere up there. I don't know. Yours, maybe Canada's version is different.
Section.
Yeah, mine's Canadian.
Come on, man.
God bless them. Goddamn Canadians. What the hell? Stupid website. You don't. Oh wait, no. Hold on. Here, let me do this. I'll share you this link. Here, Doc. I think that's the right one for you. There you go. Is that the Canadian site? I just had to change it from US
It's
to CA.
saying it's bringing me Canadian.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. Should be a thing that. Well, they got rid of it.
It automatically redirects me to Canada.
What the hell? Here, hold on.
They got it. Yeah, they got it.
Huh. Hold on here.
It's not a
screen too.
What's it under?
Here, I just shared my screen, Doc. I think I shared it. It don't matter that if it's closed. Why is this on your website under subscriptions? What purpose does that deal with? Like, yeah,
no one can sign up for it right now.
It's gonna take me to. Why is this a thing? Oh, look, new
party stream.
Oh, there's a new feature. Oh, party stream.
Oh, and it broke. I can't.
Hey, look, this is even worse. Hold on. Let me share mine, Doc. This is it gets worse from here.
Oh, sweet
Yeah.
Jesus! We called them out, so they broke my shit.
Oh, I got you, Torres. I got you.
Oh my god!
Watch
I'm
this.
sorry, Chris.
Watch
I didn't
this.
mean to ruin this.
Watch
for you.
this.
I can't
what
do it.
Did I share?
Oh god!
Did I
My
share?
wrist-
Screen share or message
Screen
or
share. Screen share. Screen share.
Oh my god!
Hold on.
I
Check this
can't
out.
believe it popped up and told me there's a new Stadia feature that just.
Check this out.
What do you got?
you have what it takes. Try Stadia Pro free
Right.
for
Yeah,
1 month.
Come on, let's try it for a month.
Man, why you clowning, dude? Why you clowning, man? Why you
Hey,
clowning?
let him get his free month.
Yeah,
There you
get
go.
that free
Get your
month.
free month of Stadia.
You still sign up for
sign up that way?
Are you no, this is fake. This is fake. This is fake. That's
How is
fake.
it fake? You
That's
can
fake.
see sharing his
Hell no.
screen.
That is fake.
Well, I'm watching him type it as we speak.
No, put your no, no.
Something
They
went
let me use
wrong.
that name. They caught on.
Oh,
They got-
oh my
But
god.
you shouldn't even be allowed to go that far into creating an account.
I mean, it did. I mean, to be fair, it did stop you there.
It
but
did
yeah,
stop.
I mean,
It did
it's
stop.
goodness
did.
gracious.
Do you know how confusing that is for as a consumer? Oh, I can try this, and then you get there because you know what's going to happen. Someone's going to be immediately contacting support, and then be like,
I can't
"What
sign
the
up.
F? Why can't I send it? Oh, we shut it down. Well, why is it on your website?" I don't
See,
know.
I mean,
Ask Phil.
Yeah.
what Ludoverse just said, I totally feel because it, man,
What's he feeling?
it's the one service, man, that worked pretty good for me. You know, even though it's not like I used it all the time, it still was
It
a
brought
good.
us all together. It brought
Right.
us all together.
It sucks, man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought GeForce Now was what brought us together.
Shut up,
Well, I mean,
Maker.
honestly, I thought it
your
was
ass up,
PlayStation,
Maker.
but I thought it was PlayStation Cloud. Technically, if you want to get real with it, this whole podcast was originally started off of PlayStation,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it did.
so it was actually
Well, I mean,
PlayStation only
look,
brought us together.
It out of the ashes of Stadia, when that happens, you've got some other competitors now that because of Stadia, they innovated, right? Without Stadia, it doesn't happen. So, I mean, there are things to look at that Stadia did as a positive. You know, like they helped push the industry forward and innovate. So, I mean, there is a positive there. It just,
Yeah.
I just feel bad for people that, like, again, it's the only one that works for them, and you know, they're in this kind of weird spot. They got to figure out what they're going to do. And a lot of people can't afford. I know people, like somebody might watch this back and go, "Oh, but just go buy a Series S." It's not that easy for everybody. Not everyone's got $300 lying around to go pick up a console. As cheap as that is, like even this device right here that I've got, the G Cloud. I'm lucky and blessed enough to be able to pick one of those up, and not everyone's in that position. They can't all afford to go pick that up. You know, sometimes we got to remember that stuff. And I also think something that kind of just like popped into my brain, like in North America, like the United States and Canada, we have a tendency of like immediately jumping to, oh, this handheld. I'm not saying that we were doing this like intentionally or like really, really bad, but oh, this handheld's terrible, or oh, it's just a phone, no big deal. We got to remember that there's like an entire rest of the world that doesn't have the access to consoles that we have and PCs, and mobile devices are the way that they game. So like what Ray was saying earlier and what Maker was saying earlier about that Razer device, that device may do very well in the rest of the world, that Wi-Fi model, because that is the main way that a lot of folks game. That is their computer. That is their PC.
Mhm.
Like PUBG Mobile is the way they play PUBG. Call of Duty Mobile is the way they play Call of Duty. So I really think like as like gamers, maybe this is like a hope and a wish that'll never come true because it just isn't, to be fair, but maybe we can all do a better job of recognizing like that, like mobile in particular isn't like this inferior way of gaming. it is the way that a lot of people game. And sometimes we forget that. Like I forget it sometimes too. I'll be honest. Like I'll remember that, oh, you know what? Yeah, there's Call of Duty Mobile, and that totally makes sense with that device. Doesn't speak to me, but I totally understand for somebody else that it does. You know, just like Stadia didn't always speak to me, but there was people that it helped and it aligned with, like, their situation. So I just hope we can all do better. That's what I'm trying to get at. 'Cause sometimes we forget what position we're in and how lucky we are sometimes, especially in North America. Like we really forget that sometimes, how lucky we are with all these devices.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's always been one of my point with cloud gaming. Like to come back to something Jim Ryan said last year in an interview with Game Informer, he wants PlayStation. Well, they're targeting at Sony with all the video games, music, movies, and everything. But he did say that PlayStation was the cornerstone of that, to reach 1 billion active subscribers on all of their services. You don't attain those numbers just by catering to the wealthier North American market and European, you have to reach out across the world to multiple countries. For that, you have to make those platforms accessible. So it's not a coincidence that PlayStation is investing heavily into mobile gaming. Right now, they were just hiring right now a PlayStation like a mobile device engineer. I had the news actually here.
Well, while you're pulling that up, think about Diablo Immortal. It's cross-play and cross-progression between mobile and PC. Like that's not something that I can remember when I was younger. That was never an option. Never.
Yeah.
So the job listing, you got wireless device development engineer, develop and evaluate wireless devices for PlayStation and perform everything from product design to mass production, introduction using those devices, product design and mass production, introduction of PlayStation main unit equipped with wireless devices. So mobile is a way you get more people in. Also, cloud gaming is easily accessible from more devices. If they want to reach the 1 billion subscriber count, they have to open up to as many gamers as possible from different, like the less wealthier ones. You cannot just go to North America and try to reach 1 billion. So they really have a plan to open up to as much people as possible.
Well, then remember, you layer in the entertainment ecosystems and the metaverse. I mean,
exactly. What's up,
these companies? Go ahead. Sorry. Hey, what's going on, Rock?
Rock.
I think these companies, they know what they're doing. Like PlayStation knows what they're doing. Microsoft knows what they're doing. I mean, remember, King is like the second largest mobile. No, actually, they're not. I think they might be one.
Along with Tencent?
No, is it?
Tencent and NetEase dominate mobile right now.
Yeah, it is too. You're right. I was trying to put together the math in my head to remember. But regardless, like Candy Crush, it's like 2 billion a year. It's ridiculous monny that they make off of that.
2.5 or 2.6 billion a year off of Candy Crush alone.
Just one game from King. That's not all of King.
And what's crazy is it's not even like the top performing app. Like there's others that do better, like yearly.
Yeah, Warzone on not Warzone.
PUBG Mobile is crazy successful.
Is it Call of Duty Mobile? One of those does like 50 million a day. I forget which one it is. It's ridiculous amount of money. And that's not an inaccurate number. I just don't remember if it's Warzone, the actual game, or if it's Call of Duty Mobile. It's one of those two. And if it's Warzone, then it invalidates my point. But one of those two makes like 50 million a day. It's crazy money.
Crazy money, yeah. Yep. So Christopher says Stadia did help cloud get better, but that's for the good. We need real players that are going to stay for the long haul. GFN, xCloud, etc., PlayStation Premium. Yeah, and those big players, that's the thing. We see a few smaller cloud platforms popping here and there, but those big players, they're taking their time. But once they fully unveil their plan and they polish everything, it's going to be a big steamroller on the competition.
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
Yeah, it's bring on the competition, the high grade gaming, the tech. Absolutely.
The first.
Like,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, Pokemon Go has accumulated over almost 8 billion. I know Genshin Impact is at 3.5 billion.
$8 billion in a year?
No, that's total.
Lifetime sales.
Earned. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's not as impressive. I thought it was a year. I was like, whoa.
No. Candy Crush is a little under Pokemon Go. In terms of highest grossing, PUBG Mobile made over 2 billion in revenue in 2021.
That's insane. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy money. That's as much as Game Pass made. Think about that. That's as much as Game Pass made
in one app.
Game. One game.
Wow.
It's insane.
And there's others in there too that are around or close to it. It's insane.
Yeah, don't I think that just proves a point. Don't underestimate the mobile market. Like
Well, that's why.
Man.
That's why when I saw Xbox coming out with these custom mobile layouts, like touch layouts, I was like, "This is a smart way to shift cloud to mobile." Is with those custom touch controls, because that's how most mobile users will play. A lot of them don't use we all talk about utilizing controllers and these accessories that allow us to play on our phones, but a vast majority of people do not use them.
Have y'all seen mobile streamers? Like how I watched somebody the other day that was using an iPad, and I was like, they're better on that iPad than I am on a controller.
Bro.
I was like, what is
They
this?
got this little,
finger
I think
gloves.
with little keyboards with the mouse, with the iPad sitting on a dock, and they're.
I didn't know they had finger gloves for mobile
I
gaming. I was
thank
like,
you.
what?
What the hell?
Or your thumbs and stuff like what?
Because mobile gaming. Why do you think platforms like TikTok have gotten into mobile gaming and live streaming gaming?
Netflix.
Dude, that is insanity. I'm sorry. I saw somebody streaming and I was like, wait, what? And they had one of those really cool top down
Yes.
I streamed.
you know what I'm talking about, right? It's like a really fancy camera to
Yeah.
get exactly what they were doing, and then they had the camera this way where you could see them interacting and talking. But the speed and the agility to which they were playing Call of Duty Mobile, I'm like, there is no way on a controller you could do any of what they are doing at the speed and the pace that they were moving. It was insane.
I use a controller on Call of Duty Mobile. That's the only one Call of Duty game that I can average about 50 kills. Any other platform, like the actual game, I average 50 deaths per game match. But the mobile stuff, people underestimate how big mobile gaming really is.
Ludo says visual novels are perfect for touch control, but the latest game that came out to Game Pass, Persona 5, is a game that's perfect for touch control. It's turn-based. You go at your own pace. That kind of game is a big seller for touch controls. There's plenty of games out there that really work well with that kind of control, especially with the kind of improvements they're able to do with the game specific controls. And something I realized today, Persona 5, playing it, depending if you're in a cutscene or if you're just playing around, the controls change throughout the game.
Oh, that's cool.
So the layout will actually change depending on what's happening on the screen.
That's interesting. That was on the cloud gaming beta?
Yeah, on the Edge browser on my phone.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So
Every one of their games is like, it's different. Like the developer gets to choose how they implement the touch controls, which I actually think that's. I know there may be an argument about it needs to be uniform, but I think for certain games, like certain layouts make more sense than others. So I'm actually kind of cool with that.
There was actually a really cool presentation they did. They actually have set templates for the developers.
Oh, that's cool.
With depending on the game, like if it's a racing game, they have a template for that. If it's like a action RPG, there's like a template. And so they were kind of showing the brief little templates, like this is how we created a template for this type of game or this type of game, and these are publicly available through our they have like a website where you can actually download the templates, like publicly, and it's not like locked behind anything. Like I believe I could go to it.
Has PlayStation done that? Sony, have they done something similar, or is it just
they
standard?
They don't have
uniform?
a mobile app.
Oh, okay.
So
Not yet.
that's the template when you sign into the game.
Okay.
This is a cutscene, so you don't see it. But if you touch the screen, you got A and B appearing and just a pause button, and that's it. Nothing
cool.
else.
That's cool.
Because those are the only buttons that are interactive during a cutscene. And this is in a fight. If you look, this is not the same layout as in the menu.
No, that's cool. It's almost where it makes it easy. I like that layout.
Damn,
pretty good.
I know what I'm doing when I get out of here. I'm gonna try that out. I'm gonna try it out.
Yeah, knowing that game, I think that layout's actually pretty good. Yeah, that's a good shout, Ludoverse. Like As Dusk Falls had really good touch controls too. Like I really liked the layout of that game.
Ooh, yes.
They did a good job on that one.
Yes,
I still gotta finish the stories.
Just wait, it gets better. I don't want to give anything away, but the ending is it's interesting.
All right.
Do you like the soundtrack of that game? By the way, it's so good.
Oh, I love the stories, the interactions, the characters. I thought it was great.
See, we got to get JD over on
JD's a pony
on some cloud gaming beta over here. He's like nah, Sony.
I tried xCloud, but yeah, I already played half of those games. So
is Dust Falls? You played as Dust Falls?
Well, not Dust Falls, but like for just to have xCloud as part of my library, like most of the games I already played.
I think if you like narrative driven games, I think you might like that one. It's kind of a slow pace. Like you can kind of go at your own. I actually beat that game on most of my lunches. So nice. On the lunch hour, I would log in for like 45 minutes, play through like what was it, chapters, Ray? Is how they did it?
Yeah.
They had chapters.
Yeah. So like you could go through it without like
the story's so good. The characters, the story is like, I mean, I just did not want to stop and I just kept going and going.
At the Game Awards, they better be nominated for like one of the best soundtracks this year. I don't know how it's not gonna be in that conversation. It was that good.
I just want to say in the private chat, I actually posted the GitHub that it's on Microsoft's one of Microsoft's articles, and it has the tools that you can just publicly download to assist with creating a custom touchscreen template.
That is cool. Interesting.
Yeah, and it looks like some of it's like up, like the adaptation kit was updated 2 days ago. It says sample touch adaptation layouts are available to get started. But yeah,
could you
it's
imagine
just kind of cool that
the full game on touch controls?
It's COD Mobile, but with the full COD
Mobile. Right.
Yeah, man, that would be a problem. You get beat by somebody on an iPad.
Call of Duty Warzone is pretty much going to be that game.
Yeah, it's true. But to that point, the mobile version of Warzone looks really good. Like the alpha testing that they did for that, I was really surprised. I think PUBG's in trouble. I think yeah, I really do. Like, if go look at the visuals. If like, I don't know if Doctor, if you have that for Warzone, but goodness gracious,
I
really good.
heard it looked great. It looked
For
really
a mobile game, it looked really good. Yeah.
Matter of fact,
I'm looking it
Oh,
up.
actually, I just found the sample control layout website directly. If you wanted to look at that as well.
There's a bunch of alpha testing out there, Doctor, and I think also
I
there's like one.
signed for 2.
There's also one for
So it shows a couple of the sample layouts. You know, the platformer layouts, first-person shooter.
Fighter. That's awesome. Driving.
That's just the standard, the default. But you can like supplement them with your own like created, because I know Sea of Thieves has like unique looking buttons and stuff like that you can basically replace those buttons with that image.
Chibeze got his G Cloud.
I know. I retweeted it on my Twitter page. I saw that.
He's gonna, if anyone's gonna pick apart that device, it's gonna be him, because he's gonna be like, this is not good, this is good. Like, he is like super analytical about that stuff.
Yeah, I'm
excited to hear what he has to say about it.
By the way, for anyone who wants to save on xCloud, I'm not normally big on advertising him, but City Keys is really affordable for Xbox Game Pass. Like, can show you.
I just picked up NBA 2K 23 on CD's keys for an excellent price.
It's a pretty steep discount, so $27.59 for 3 months.
That's not bad. How much is it for a 12-month? It's probably no discount.
115.
I don't know what is
how much did you pay for NBA 23?
What is currently out of stock?
I paid, I think 50
I did
bucks.
USD.
Nice.
Oh no, that is a good discount, because for $14.99 for 12 months is $180. So that's actually a pretty good discount for Ultimate.
Yeah, so it's a very good way of getting a Game Pass.
$65 discount. That's not bad.
And I've bought the 3-month pass a few times on there. Worked really well. Didn't have any problem.
They're literally giving, like, I mean, until they get like the numbers where they want them, they're giving Game Pass away left and right. They're like, you want Game Pass? Here's Game Pass. Get it for $1. Get it for $5. Get it for an add-on with your. You know what really surprised me at the beginning of this console generation? That they didn't like bundle it with the X and the S. Like the first like month is free, or the first 3 months. They didn't do that. I think the only reason they didn't is because they had that all access, if you remember, where and it's actually still available now. You buy the console and then you pay monthly to pay it off, and included with that is Game Pass Ultimate. You get it as part of the recurring payments that you do on the console. So I think that might be why they did it. But either way, like, they've just been giving it away left and right. Once they hit, like, I think that's the sweet spot for them, is when they get 40 million and more members. You're not going to continue to see those discounts. That's going bye-bye. That ain't going to happen anymore. You ain't getting anything for $1 anymore.
One of the news we wanted to look at here is Microsoft that's looking into having a mobile gaming store. I think it's Vet that brought this one up, but really it's one of the things that came up part of the investigation. Most likely will tie into Game Pass, I do believe, and they're going to leverage basically King and all the Activision license to make some mobile games for through Microsoft, basically. So it's kind of interesting. Vet, I think you read a bit more about this one.
I mean, I read the article. There was a couple of other things that I was trying to dig around and see if I could find anything. This was mostly it. This was literally the only article I could pull up that I just happened to come across and that I thought was interesting, that they're working on a mobile gaming store.
So that would literally bypass the Google Play Store. It would be its own store that you'll be able to install, from my understanding.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how it's going to work. That's what I like. Is it going to be one that you're going to have to add yourself, or I have no idea, because I really don't. I haven't been able to pull very much up on it.
So because, like they were saying, shifting consumers away from the Google Play Store or App Store on mobile device will, however, require a major shift in consumer behavior. Microsoft hopes that it'll be offering well-known and popular content gamers. So they want to take away from the Google Play Store and the App Store. So it's not just like an Xbox app, like a Xbox Mobile. They want to make it like a store that,
I think it's,
like Google's charging like 30% for every sales on their app and all that.
yeah, and I
It'll
think
be a
it's more to
Microsoft.
challenge. It's more, yes, it's going after Google as well, but I think this is more geared towards Apple, because everybody knows when it comes to the App Store on Apple, it's completely locked down. I mean, everything is hidden behind that wall. So, but it'll be interesting to see what it does. What's going to be added to that for mobile games.
That does look really good.
Mm-hmm. Isn't this mobile store part of their plan to let gamers play the Xbox game they own outside of Game Pass? I don't think it's related to that.
It might be. It might tie into your account.
Well, it says Microsoft said it would use the gaming catalog. Well, actually, hold on. Let me just make sure this is what I'm reading. It's a business game. Apple can use the platform gaming.
Transaction will improve Microsoft's ability to create next generation game store that operates across a range of devices, including mobile, as a result of the addition of the Activision Blizzard content. Building on Activision Blizzard's existing communities of gamers, Xbox will seek to scale the Xbox Store to mobile, attracting gamers to a new Xbox mobile platform. The company wrote in its
I see what they're talking is one. It's one that we could see Call of Duty Mobile and Candy Crush end up on the Xbox mobile platform. What they're looking at utilizing, stuff like that.
What's interesting is they stated that King and Call of Duty Mobile represent over half of the revenue that they're earning at Activision Blizzard. So the mobile section is making over half.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if they added Call of Duty Mobile? They get this up and running and put something like Call of Duty Mobile and even Candy Crush, things like that on there. Those mobile games start going to Xbox mobile gaming, or whatever they're going to call their mobile platform.
In the first quarter of 2022, consumers spent more than $1.6 billion per week on mobile games on both the App Store and Google Play Store.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
$1.6 billion per week.
You know what's sad is this kind of thing with this Xbox mobile thing. It's what they needed when they had the Windows phones. Damn. Maybe Microsoft's going to come back and resurrect the Windows phone, and then they'll turn it into just an Xbox.
With that kind of money, it's possible.
I sent the Warzone mobile footage.
Yeah, it looks really good. That's my first time looking at it, but yeah, that looks really good.
For mobile, yeah. I mean, it kind of reminds me of what was I going to compare it to? I had a thought in the back of my head. You remember like the original, like kind of like the look of Counter-Strike, a little bit like that. It's got some of the same kind of like visual elements, but I'm not saying it's Counter-Strike. Anyone that watches this back, that's not what I'm saying.
You got to increase the resolution.
I'm just saying like the actual like visuals look a little bit like it, which is it's not a negative.
Just think when you'll be able to play this on the Xbox mobile platform.
That's actually something I didn't think about. Imagine that. That is true. That like if you're able
On
to
the
like,
xCloud?
yeah, you open up like either it's xCloud or you just open up their version of like their store. You download it through Android or to Android or iPhone or whatever.
Well, and think about that. I mean, it's not like Microsoft hasn't done stuff like that before. They teamed up with Samsung and had their custom phones with all the Microsoft stuff. They could easily do that, or they could very easily, if Microsoft wanted to, I'm sure they could come back and make a new phone that's geared towards gaming, geared towards, Windows, whatever, and tie all that whole Xbox ecosystem all together.
It doesn't look bad. I mean, it looks for mobile, considering that there's going to be 120 players on a map. I mean, that's pretty good.
God,
It
that's a lot.
And didn't Siege just come out with a new mobile game too?
Yep.
Yep.
Everybody's doing mobile games nowadays. That's the new thing.
I think what's happening with all this is kind of like the like there's phases of things. So like eventually like we'll get towards cloud more, as the norm like we've been talking about tonight. But until then, until internet gets to a better spot both here and overseas, you've got an install base with customers when it comes to mobile. So it just makes sense for them to do this. But anyways, yeah, I just thought it looked good. I figured I'd share.
Interesting. Other news we wanted to look at. Oh yeah, they finally revealed the PlayStation Premium controller for the PS5. It's gonna be $200.
You guys can get an Xbox S and some change, man. Come on now.
I do like that
Xbox
controller. Though.
S, right?
You can get an Xbox Series S, y'all. Come on now.
Or you can get a premium controller. You can
Come
get
on,
a
man.
premium controller, man.
Come on, man.
You can play them sweet games, man.
Come on, man.
I think my biggest complaint is that the swappable or the replacement sticks don't come with it. You can have like the tops to them, but the actual sticks themselves, you don't get a free extra set.
Oh,
it's like an additional 20 something bucks.
Dude, my wife would
if you're willing,
kill me
if
I bought a $200 controller.
If you're willing to spend $200 on the controller, you obviously got the money to spend the extra $20 for those damn sticks.
JD,
right? I mean, they got a lot.
JD a baller, y'all.
179 Xbox Elite Wireless Controller Series 2 for $179. You can buy you an Xbox controller.
How many batteries
Xbox
that Xbox controller? How many
batteries?
One of the things I was thinking about
go ahead, Doc.
with the swappable thumbstick, like if you're into performance gaming, like playing ranked and all, and you do a tournament,
just kidding.
You have your controller, you have your casual sticks that you play every day with, and you can keep an extra set that's just for playing competitive. So you're playing competitive, swap your sticks out that have more of a dead zone in the middle, put the other ones that barely have a bit of use on, and you get snappier controls for when you're doing your competitive stuff. You're done with your tournament, put them back in their safe case where they stay fresh, and put back the more casual sticks that you're stretching out every day. That is very interesting because you don't have to change the whole controller. It's just a stick. And that is the one part that gives up the most on all controllers. So it is a very interesting concept.
I do have a complaint.
I love that Xbox controller, that premium Xbox controller that I got to keep replacing the batteries.
You gotta have a good warranty.
The Elite controller comes with an internal battery.
They finally did that? Oh, that's right. You got to get the Elite controller to have that. That's right.
Yeah.
Sony's been doing that for how long? JD, how long Sony been doing an internal battery?
Man, it's
PS3?
PS3, man.
What was it, Chase?
No, I said I do
No.
have I do have a complaint.
Yeah, with the dual shock.
With the dual shock, baby.
With the dual shock.
Why you gotta do Tell
What's
me
your
why that
complaint,
didn't look
Chase?
like a PlayStation controller commercial.
No,
To me,
I'll
the
have to see
paddles
the-
look funny.
I'll have to see
Paddle.
the build quality on it, but
Sony is pretty good at build quality for their controllers.
no. Trust me.
Yeah.
I've been a Sony person most of the time, so I don't disagree on that. That's not. Let me rephrase what I'm saying.
Sony.
The controller doesn't look that much different than the DualSense, is what I'm getting at. It almost looks like it's the same controller minus the whatchamacallit, the swappable. I was about to say Joy-Cons, but the analog sticks. So what I'm getting at is I'd like to like see and like have both in front of me and see what is the big difference. Is it that they've added some kind of texturing to the back besides just the analog sticks? Is there a difference in the build quality? What am I getting for the 200 aside from the competitive piece that the other controller has? See, this is what's interesting. The reason I'm bringing this up, and I'm not trying to knock Sony. I'm just trying to point something out that happened to Xbox on this, and it's something that I said, and they ended up doing it. They had the Elite controller, and then they had their standard controller, right? And there was that space in between that wasn't being fulfilled. Like people that didn't want to go all the way up to an Elite, right, but still wanted the ability to adjust out the analog sticks and then potentially add paddles if they wanted to, but you had to pay to get the additional feature set with it. This is kind of like at that higher end without there being something positioned in the middle. And maybe they like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to like hate on this completely. What I'm saying is that I want to see, do they bring another device into the market that is like, this is the premium, which it seems like it is, right? And then they have something that kind of lives in the middle that still offers this, but isn't like this build. I don't know. It's not even the price. It just, anytime a company puts out one of these controllers that's like on the high end, I worry about what's the longevity of the controller? How long is it going to be supported? How long are they going to offer components? Like, that's what I worry about with these. It doesn't matter who the company is. I said the same thing about Microsoft. So that's why I just want to be clear about that. The same exact criticism I'm giving about this, I said about the Elite controller with Microsoft, because I'm like, I don't understand, like, how many generations are you going to support this with? Are you going to support it for this console and the next generation, or are you going to like make me buy another one the next time that a console comes out? So there's just a lot of things that I gravitate towards with all of these companies. Doesn't matter who it is, if it's Microsoft, if it's Sony. And I do want to see, do they bring another controller in that falls like around that 150 to 160 price point of the Elite 2? Because then we have a different conversation. Then there's truly like two different options there if you want to go, up, and you don't want to go all the way up to the premium option of the 200. So
to Chase's point, with Sony, you already know PlayStation 6 going to be a different controller layout. Like, I don't know.
I heard they're coming out with the PS5 Premium.
I don't know what PlayStation, like 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 that we kept the same.
I do like this on the triggers here, that feature. You have a switch on the back and it changes the action of your triggers to have it like super long or super short.
Short. Yeah. The Elite series has that as well. I never really used it, I'll be honest. It does. It feels kind of weird when you do shorten it. And so I never really used that on my Elite series. I have an issue with the back paddles. The back paddles on the PlayStation control look so weird. Like, at least with Xboxes, it's like just on the kind of like the underbelly, so your fingers are already there. Like this looks like further up.
Well, it has both of them.
Yeah,
it is adjustable though. To be fair, Maker. I mean, I don't think that.
Oh yeah, there's two different types of back buttons that they offer, but it both seem like a little off in comparison to like the Xbox One, which looks very flush with the controller and
Yeah.
very.
I think it's preference, though, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just probably
I
preference.
just have more of an issue of there's nothing that's positioned between the standard controller and this. It's just it's going to be tough, I think, for a lot of people to jump to $200 for a controller.
That's true.
I really think that's gonna. I don't know, man. Especially with where things are going with this economy, I don't know that people are going to be putting out that kind of money just for a controller. It's different if it's like an actual device.
Some will.
Well, no, I mean, of course, always, but I don't know, man. Even 179 for the Elite's a little steep.
Want to be a baller, shot caller, 20.
I'm using my Stadia stimulus. So. Well, good.
I do like the new update with the Elite series where you can actually change the color, and you have the new the lab where you can design lab where you can modify it. I like that they added that option, but it is pricey.
Give me spray can and like $100. I will spray that PS5 premium any color
with a rubber grip.
Okay, I will. There you go.
He's gonna put Flex Seal on like the grip.
Exactly.
You're gonna put Flex Seal in a deep brand skin all on that mug.
Oh man.
Wow. Jeez. Man.
I don't know. I just want to see that they bring one, they support it long term, not just for like JD was saying this generation, and two, put something between a standard controller and that controller where people have the option.
Well, that was a different type of controller I was thinking about. I was thinking about that kitty controller from last gen. PS4 kit.
Just for reference, like I put in private the back of the Elite series and the way that they designed their paddles and why I like that design.
You like the paddle?
It's like right there where your fingers are, where you're already gripping, so it's easier to press them. Where with like the PlayStation looked a little bit further inward into the controller.
Yeah. I think the only reason I said what I said about the PlayStation one is your hand in that controller sits at a different position than the Xbox one. I don't know how to explain it, but I think it makes sense the way they are doing it. It's just
my fingers are already falling there in the middle.
Yeah, it's just there's a shorter distance between where like your grip is there. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Yeah. I don't mind that. Like that doesn't bother me. I'm just more about the whole.
To me, it looks a little off.
It's just the offerings, man. Like goodness gracious.
Like give me position is totally different from one to another. Xbox is more like it's those grips are sticking out more, so it's bringing your fingers on the side.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Give it another grip. Give it another grip. Yeah.
Ray, that did not look. Ray, you on the wrong show. You need to be on Anthony's show.
No, I was gonna say show of hands. If they put out like a Sony controller that was in the middle of those two price points, where you could just get the analog sticks, where you could adjust those, and then you have the option to add the on the back without like having to pay for it all the way at the higher tier, would you buy it?
Yeah.
What?
If it was 160
I'd
or
still
150?
buy it at Sony. Still buy it at Sony.
I might, if it was I think
JD's really thinking about it.
JD just say you would.
It would be the same controller. The only difference is you don't have the buttons on the back. That's it. You'd have to buy those separately, but you'd get the analog, because I think that's what most people want is the analog sticks. I want to be able to control that.
If
it was 150,
if you want just what you want, I agree with what Chase is saying. If that's just what you're looking for in a controller, and then that just comes down to preference. But for me, I don't like this is for me. My preference is I don't like to make a lot of compromises in what I'm buying. too much. So if I'm buying a product, I normally will buy it at the higher end. If there's different variations of a
That way you
product,
know it's going to
I
meet
w-
your demand.
right, it will meet my demands at all time. For me, that's just how I purchase.
What if it was 120?
I would still get the higher
That's way
price.
too cheap.
I would still get. It's just me. It's nothing to do with Sony. It has nothing to do with Sony. Like that's just how I buy stuff. I normally will get the higher end just for those use case scenarios to fit all of my needs. I don't want to go back.
What in the hell is? Get that
Look,
old
man,
ass.
look. It's got a fan,
Oh,
so if your hair's
are you-
wet, you can, blow
Are you
dry
all
your
ready
hair.
to
You
talk
got
about
hair.
the Stadia gaming? The Netflix of gaming? Sorry.
The Stadia game. Oh man.
But look. Hey, he's not lying. Stadia was in this article. See, right there, right at the top. Netflix says we're not going to mess up like Stadia did. We watched them fail. We're not going to do the same thing.
Netflix ain't got no. Hey, they shouldn't be talking.
They already launched. They're just evolving. They're just evolving their titles into that model.
And Netflix
because
should not be hating.
They already got Netflix games.
They should not be hating.
No. There's a difference between cloud gaming and downloading these shitty games from Netflix on.
That's why I said
mobile
they're
device.
evolving. They're just evolving the business model.
Well, they had to watch and see if anybody was going to fail, and clearly they called out the one that shut down.
Well, so they're not doing. Hold on, how do I say this the right way? So they're not marketing this very well right now, which I thought they'd do a better job of, but that's beside the point.
Netflix.
They released their data, and I was like, oh man, this is not good. Less than 1% of their entire subscription base has tried games on Netflix. That's not good. That's not good.
Netflix. I haven't tried their games.
That's not good. So they got to figure something out to get people interested.
I think the thing is that they don't really market it.
Well, that's what I mean. They got to start doing something.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that they necessarily need to at the moment. I think right now it's just kind of testing the waters, and I think that's why it's so low. And I mean, even regardless, like I believe they were getting more traffic than like xCloud and a lot of others combined. Because in 1 month they had like, what was it, 2.6 million people use their gaming app. That's their monthly active users. That's better than what Stadia ever got,
Yeah. Ouch.
And that's just for downloads. That's not even if it was cloud.
I just mean like they when they presented one of their things recently, they talked about that they wanted it to be a major revenue driver, right? So if you want it to be a revenue driver, you got to market it as such. That's what I'm getting at. You can't say one thing in a middle of a presentation or one of their meetings saying we want this to be a revenue driver, and then you do not market it or even put an effort. That's all I'm getting at. I'm not saying that I don't agree with your point. I'm just saying if you're going to want that to be that in the next year, you got to start putting some effort in, which means dollars.
To me, I think they're doing like the bare minimum without doing any marketing right now, because I think they are just seeing like gauging if people are going to play it or what are they going to do. And like this is showing that they're going to invest even more into it, because setting up cloud infrastructure and creating that platform for cloud is a lot more investment than just offering game downloads. It's a significantly more investment. And I think when this drops, we will see if they invest into the marketing, into the advertisement of it. And if they do that, then I say, yeah. But at its current point, I would gauge it more like a project stream is what their gaming is.
Don't say it's going to be a revenue driver.
Well, I mean, everybody's Rockstar. Was it Take-Two said that investing into cloud gaming is one of the main drivers of differential like revenue, and
yeah, but they weren't setting up the structure.
Well, the thing is, they didn't.
Oh, stop, Ray.
Hey, shout out to Take-Two though for letting you transfer your Red Dead Redemption 2 saves from Stadia over to PlayStation 4, Xbox.
Yeah. But yeah, I just kind of pointing out like Take-Two is like one of the least invested in cloud gaming, yet in their investor reports and stuff like that, they still list it as one of their growth drivers. It's just kind of ironic. It's similar with like Netflix.
Dude, shout out to Color, man. He's been on pretty much all these different podcasts, shows, and magazine. I've been even Angry Joe and good Lord, all of them. They talking about Color and in the hours that he was going to lose, but I'm glad that they're doing this. This is good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, Collar has been pretty dedicated to Red Dead Online on Stadia, which was very good compared to other platforms.
I agree.
Stadia was a very good platform to play Red Dead Online.
Yeah, that's one of the games I was thinking about when I first heard it close. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going to happen to my Cyberpunk 2077, my Red Dead, all those cheap. I mean,
that's why I buy my shit on Steam or Epic, and then I don't have to worry about that happening.
So I think we're gonna wrap this up. It is getting pretty late.
Oh my goodness.
It's late for you guys, man. It's
11:33.
8:33. I gotta get something to eat.
It's 12:33 for me.
Hold on, let me finish.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go around. Vet, where can we find you?
Vet Cloud Gaming, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook Gaming, any other social media platform you could think of. I'm probably there. I don't know. I might go live again tonight. I'm hoping it's not going to be another 5 hours. I'm sucked into A Plague's Tale Requiem, but it might end up being that
Till
long.
sunrise.
The Rat Pack.
It might. The Rat Pack's back. I mean, if you want spoilers, don't show up. I mean, still show up, but just, put another window over it so you don't hear anything, because then I'll see anything and just listen to me scream and cuss and freak out from a bunch of... God damn.
That device is looking real good.
No, it's the way he did that. I'm trying to explain something, all I see is this.
That's your be right back screen when you play when you get frustrated. No,
my be right back screen is I'll just go play on PlayStation Plus. I somehow accidentally signed up for it again. Whoops. Just have to play some PlayStation tonight.
And Ray, where can we find you, man?
Tomorrow, guys, on Ray3473 on Twitch TV, I'll be doing Wreckfest Saturday night on xCloud. Sunday, I will be running from the Rats, and shout out to GeForce Now and Silver Dragon Dom for hooking me up with the key code. And then Monday, I haven't decided what I'm gonna do, and then I got Retro Rewind Sunday with Jeff, Miss Tracy, and SPG. So that's what I got up. And I'm watching Black Adam tomorrow. I can't wait. Got my tickets. Woo! All right. There you go.
Dwayne Black Adam Johnson.
Rock,
baby.
All right.
Smack us down.
JD, where can we find you, man?
JD3 MXP right here, CloudNationTV. And then also on Twitter.
Capitals. Not at the Capitals games?
Not at the Capitals games. Not at the Capitals.
Get out of here.
At the Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars, baby.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, man.
That's unfortunate.
Chase, thank you so much for coming. It's great having you on, as always. Thanks for sharing your experience with your brand new toy.
Yes.
Makes me jelly. So, where can we find you? Sell your channel, sell yourself, man.
Spoiler alert for everybody for tomorrow. I'm going to tweet this out as soon as we go off the air, but I will not be doing a show tomorrow. I'm going to get some rest. I think I just had a long week. I realized it as we were doing this that, I need to rest tomorrow. And I want to go play some more of this device, man. I've like every time I boot it up, I don't know what it is, man. I've been enjoying it more than I have the Switch. And you know what? That's what really concerned me. Sorry, I'm going to talk about my channel in just a second, but that's what really concerned me with this is, do I even need the Switch anymore? Now I'm at that point where I'm starting to process what do
Blasphemy!
I need? I know, man.
Blasphemy,
what do I need?
man.
What do I need?
You have access to all the
Metroid
cloud.
Prime 4.
You're not going to
Metroid
play
Prime
Nintendo games.
4.
You're not going to play those Nintendo
Splatoon
games.
3.
Zelda.
I
Zelda
know.
Breath of the Wild 2.
Between that and
I'm
the
just
Switch,
not.
100%
I've just not
want
been
that.
playing.
Bayonetta 3.
Yeah. I've just not been playing it. Like, you know, when you don't play something, you're like, man, can I get money for this? Like that's what I'm thinking more so than anything. And maybe down the line I'll get an OLED.
I feel you.
Yeah, I'm just in a weird spot right now after having this device. Anyway, so you can find me over on YouTube. Search The Gaming Advocate. On Sunday, I will be. You kind of got a sneak peek tonight, but I'm gonna be doing an in-depth first impressions video of the device, talking about my positives around it.
Can't wait.
And then guess what? There are some constructive criticisms. It's not perfect, so I do think that we do need to go through some of those so that people out there can make, you know, the best decision for themselves. And again, please don't use my use case as the basis for your decision. This is just why I like it, but you need to do your own research. I think it's very important. And then Twitter at Phantom UFC Fan. There we go.
Awesome. Thanks again for coming live on our show. Maker, where can we find you, man?
You can find me at CGX and CGX Deck on YouTube, and on Twitter, Maker of Chaos 12.
Awesome. As for me, on YouTube, DrSpaceman, Facebook Gaming, DrSpaceman Games. Every Monday is Monday Night Fortnite. Y'all welcome to join. And other than that, I'll be posting on Twitter whenever I go live. So DrSpaceman Media. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. It was a lot of fun chatting about all that, interacting with you. So on this, have a good night, all.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you, Ludiverse and Audi and
Dino.
Diane,
Rock.
Christopher, Rod.
Chris.
Thank you guys. You guys are awesome.
Go.
Thanks all for joining in. Bye.